Hello.
How? Welcome back.
It is nice to see everyone again. It has been 2 weeks. I've had 3 cups of coffee, all with Irish cream in them, and I am suitably wired.
Mr. Gunter.
Hell yeah.
Mr. Gunter. That's many coffee.
Many coffee.
Did you
If you
drink it
buy
out of your
fine,
new fancy cups?
I did drink it out of my new fancy cup. Gotta match the
Of
vibe.
course you did.
Yeah, of course he did.
That was a good call.
Yeah. All right. So when we last left off, our merry band of adventurers had thwarted Ivan's attempts to sow discord in the viceroyalty of Mazov, and had made some unsettling discoveries regarding the nature of his abilities. And they had acquired lots of apples,
Acquired many apples.
Many apples.
many apples from the bigger apple. And
From the bigger apple.
You know,
one of
where
the
Giuseppe's from.
Where
yeah,
Giuseppe is from. Yeah.
one of the more notable developments of last session was Yume accepted the blood kiss from Phillipe and entered the ranks of the Russian nobility as a vampire. Baptized and
Sorry.
everything.
I
Oh,
forgot that it was called Blood Kiss.
yeah. He didn't actually
Love
kiss
that
you,
for
of
you.
course, but yeah.
The blood kiss, which turns you into a vampire.
Yes.
Please continue. We're being obnoxious.
Please continue. Sorry.
Yume was accepted into the ranks of the Russian nobility, baptized in Virch.
Virch.
Vampire Church, yes.
Vampire
Virch,
Church.
better known as
Virch.
Vampire Church.
Accepted by the Russian gods of the Great Orthodoxy, which will enable you to walk in the daylight among the living. Ah, yes.
Ooh.
The Mediterranean, a very critical part of Norian geopolitics.
The Mediterranean. I forgot we named it the Mediterranean.
She did slip it in there while we were making the map, and I was not going to stop her because she's correct.
Alina's so fucking smart. Also,
Mhm.
hey,
Alina's
hi,
so
shout out
funny.
to Alina
Sadly,
for making our map. That's so nice.
shout out to Alina for
Yes.
making our map. Sadly, she could not be with us tonight.
Yes,
But
and actually, speaking of, Alina left, or Giuseppe, I should say, has left a note for all of you before we get started.
wait, are we gonna read that now or when we all wake up?
I will get it out of the way now to explain what Giuseppe is doing while you all get up to your own shenanigans. For the sake of, in terms of continuity, you do see this when you wake up, but I'm going to read it now.
Because it's funnier.
Yeah.
Sounds Gucci.
All right. Dear fellas, I got some business to take care of. Got what's left of the apples to mail to Mrs. Von Ma, and a few other errands out beyond the bounds of Mazov city limits. Should be back in a day or two, Giuseppe. P.S. Yume's in charge while I'm gone.
Yume's in charge?
Yes. Yes.
Whether you
This is
want
what
to
she's always
actually
wanted.
go along with that is your choice, but that is what Giuseppe wrote.
Oh my god, that's what Giuseppe wrote!
That's what.
I'm delighted.
That's all he wrote.
Hee
That's all he wrote.
All
Hell.
right. Well, you read
Like-
that in the morning after
Be a
waking up.
bad decision later.
That is probably a bad decision. But anyway, before you wake up, I see Secret Replace asking questions. I cannot answer that yet. To get something out of the way, Miss Yume,
Uh-huh.
we've been talking very much about how you come from a people known as the Dreamwalkers. You've been
Uh-huh.
doing a lot of walking, but it's not been in dreams.
Mm-hmm.
That changes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Before we dive into this little tidbit, would you like to explain for the audience how dreamwalking works?
Okay. So let me paint you a word picture for a moment. So they're called the Dreamwalkers because, as the name suggests, they can walk into people's dreams. They can't really affect these dreams, not really, but they can watch, observe, and a very, very favorite phrase of most Dreamwalkers is dreams do not lie.
How
Having
interesting.
having said that,
Interesting.
um, from a Dreamwalker's perspective, the way this works
One, two, three.
is
Don't need Giuseppe.
imagine a hallway.
No.
Imagine a hotel hallway with many doors on both sides. These doors all have names on them. These are the people who are closest in proximity to you as a dreamwalker when you fall asleep. These are the people who are in dream space with you, those whose dreams you can walk in on.
I think
And
I
I
read about this
think
on Reddit once.
Oh no.
Sorry, that
Oh
wasn't
no.
helpful.
Ye olde Reddit.
Yeah, you
Ye
old
old
Reddit.
Reddit.
um
But yes, please continue. Sorry.
and no, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. And the way yeah, so like um sorry, losing my train of thought.
No, it's my fault. My apologies.
Um,
You were in a
so
hotel room with doors
so
and
I
yes.
think that's where we open up with um Miss Yume is what looks like a hotel hallway. And she's walking down this hallway and she's looking at the names around her. She sees Lady Phillipe, Giuseppe, and she sees Ray, of course. But for some reason the name that really catches her attention, the door that she feels drawn to is Gerard's. So that's where she goes.
All right. And as Gerard's person, with the DM's permission, uh, may I have the microphone for my
You may.
own narration talents, as you do?
Ha ha, you may, papa.
Oh, okay, great, wonderful,
Yume?
wonderful,
Thank
wonderful.
you, Alyssa.
Um,
Take
okay,
it away.
let me see.
Yeah, take it away.
Take it away. Okay, you may.
Sorry, that was Harry Potter joke. Not a very good one.
I don't even remember that one, so it's even better. All right, let's go. You may.
Yeah.
Let's start. The dream you enter is soft and dark. There is a subtle, comforting hum to this space that is hard to define. You can barely see, but trying to find fear within you in this moment as you traverse this place is difficult. As you traverse the gloom, it begins to lift, and the warmth ebbs. You're standing in a muddy field, riddled with deep ridges from carriage and cannon, hoof and boot. Men lay motionless, face down in the mud. You see Gerard standing a few yards away. His back is to you, and his shoulders are heavy. He stoops and begins to tend to a whimpering man at his feet. Do you step closer?
I think I keep watching for a moment.
Okay.
Mm.
You cannot see his face in this moment, and thus you cannot read his expression. But what you do see is a flicker of movement in the corner of your eye, lithe and swift, but you do not catch full sight of it. The scene shifts very suddenly, and the air is no longer damp, the light no longer dreary. It is dim again, and the air tastes dry and dull. Gerard sits at the edge of a cot, his hair disheveled. His head is tipped down, so you can't see his face behind the pale curtain of hair. You feel something brush your leg and then rapidly dart away. You don't catch full sight of it. Gerard shifts and tilts his head sharply up to look at you, or perhaps just in your general direction. His eyes glint in the dim light, oddly, and those eyes are wild and unfamiliar, a far cry from the nervous yet composed man who follows at Lady's elbow. His pupils have shrunk to thin slits. But then, with a buckle of the world around you, Gerard's dream ends.
With that, Yume's dream walk ends. She returns to the hotel hallway. If she were to look back at Gerard's door, she would and try to open it, she would see that it is now firmly locked.
Yeah, I would even venture to say maybe the door is even gone. If what I think happened happened.
Perhaps, who's to say in a world of dreams and mists? But either
Hee
way,
hee.
you consider the other doors around you for a moment before deciding that perhaps you have done all you needed to tonight. And with that, you go to the end of the hallway where there is an unmarked door. You open it and return back to your own mind and your own dreams. And with that, you all sleep through the night, exhausted from your efforts earlier in the evening, finally able to rest easy.
Mhm.
You all awaken in the morning.
Oh, God, not again.
I know, I hate it.
Um,
You read the note from Giuseppe, and after that, you are all enjoying breakfast.
Yume's in charge.
you may snorts when she reads that part.
Oh, yeah. Out
Um,
of curiosity, do you all actually want Yume to be in charge? Is anyone actually the leader of this party? Is this a democracy, a
Here's
dictatorship,
the thing.
an anarchy?
I felt like
Does
it's been a
Yume actually,
democracy so far.
yeah, does Yume actually do anything to try and like assert her leadership qualities, or does she just laugh when she reads that and goes on with her day?
She kind of chuckles, um, and yeah, she just kind of moves on.
Mm.
Very well. See,
All
we have
right.
our breakfast. Um,
Yume,
hey, quick
not you.
question for
Yes.
Yume before we start though. I'm very sorry to ask this, and maybe I missed this in your explanation of how dreamwalking works.
Mhm.
Gerard, was he aware of her presence?
That depends. Was he?
No, like I mean like as a dream walking ability, like is she able to conceal her presence in someone's dream, or can they look at her and be like there is someone here? Like is that
Um,
effect I
I
to
would
me that is something an effect of her ability.
I would say sort of kind of yes. If you want to be stealthy while dream walking, you can. I would say
Okay,
that
and was she?
she wasn't necessarily trying to be, but that doesn't all just because somebody isn't sneaking around doesn't mean you notice them, right?
Well, yes, but did like look directly in her
If
line of
he
sight.
looked if he looked directly at her, then yeah, he probably saw her.
Okay, great. He is not making eye contact with her whatsoever. He is not being cold, but he is not fucking looking at her.
He seems more nervous.
No, he doesn't seem nervous. He just is not looking at her. He always seems nervous. That's like asking if a cat has fur. He's just like not looking at her. It's like it's bordering on like
So
awkward and he doesn't want to say anything because like
on
what is creepier than running up to someone you only kind of half know and going like, "Hey, I had a dream about you last night."
well, if he knows what she is, he probably knows what she can do.
He does. That's true. Um
Um
What you
he is
see
not
is
comfortable with what she did and it is apparent.
um
this is part of the reason why there is discrimination against the Dreamwalkers because
That's part of it. Yeah.
I was about to say, he is
some
not
people
comfortable
are
with her walking in
uncomfortable
on
with
him.
yeah,
People poking around in their heads. Yeah.
Yeah, he did not like that. He's not
and
angry, but he is uncomfortable around her.
I imagine in Yume's organization there are rules and regulations on dreamwalking, but there are always unscrupulous individuals who give the group a bad name.
She didn't do anything, but like he just wasn't a big fan of like looking up from a dream that was kind of not pleasant already, and then she was there.
Yeah! For anyone
Um.
wondering about the field Gerard was in, that was basically the equivalent of the early phases of the French Revolutionary Wars,
Let's go, baby.
where
Yeah. Let's go.
not a great time.
Thank you for knowing what I was laying down there, because I didn't want to be like I had to think about it. I was like, what do I have to do to make sure I'm implying the correct thing?
Um.
Like I said, he's not angry. It's just like kind of it feels the same way as like the morning after you have an argument with someone and like you aren't mad at them
Oh.
anymore, but like you don't know what to do with them. It is like
Yeah.
that vibe. He's been very quiet and he has had his breakfast and he doesn't seem like tired or anything, but it's awkward.
um. So on that note, though, is can I ask if Yume would like? I don't want to say it yet on stream if she's not supposed to know yet.
What do
Um.
you I
Here,
mean,
ask me in DM.
yeah, ask him in
Hang on.
DMs. Yeah, I was about to say I feel like I know what you're gonna bring up, and I had to think on it and be like, "I don't know."
Ask me in DM.
Thank you for letting
No.
us, take this character exploratory thing.
Um, no. Immediately no.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was
Yeah.
like, I think I know what you're asking, and
There is
there's
not enough
not enough
context for you
context.
to divine that.
Yeah, no, you couldn't
Yeah,
just
that's
divine
fair.
that. It was just a
Um.
weird dream. Weird shit happens in dreams all the time.
That is true. But again, dreams never lie.
They never lie. I
Uh,
mean, he was having a trauma moment for sure.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, Yume can definitely see that. I think what she got from that is he has seen the worst humanity has to offer.
Yeah, he has seen some shit. He's just
And
a
in
little
that
seen some
guy.
way,
shit.
they're kind of alike. Um,
What an interesting way to learn things about people rather than have conversations with them, Yume.
well,
Let me tell you, I'm not mad at you as a player for doing this. I think it's fucking hilarious. He does not like Yume for doing. He's
on
not gonna
the
hold
one
it against
hand,
him.
on the one hand, asking a dreamwalker not to dreamwalk is kind of like asking a bird not to fly.
No, but you could knock.
That's
Like
fair.
I said, he kind of knows that like she sort of also can't like help it. And that is like part of why he doesn't want to fucking say anything. Where he's like, okay, well, I'm just not going to talk about it. Like he does not want to talk about it. If she is
Yeah,
going to try and ask him anything, it is very apparent he is not in the mood to talk about it.
yeah, that's fair. Yume doesn't press him.
And here's the thing, he does respect that. I'm not saying they're having a conversation right now. I would say as a character, he does respect it if she doesn't push it.
Yeah, no, she doesn't bring it up
Yeah,
like at all. She kind of side eyes him like, well, that certainly happened,
that certainly
and
happened.
then
And he side eyes her
start
like that certainly happened.
and she just kind of pours herself a cup of blood.
All right. Hey, how's everybody else's breakfast going?
Great
You
time.
all,
She's eating a crumpet.
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 No croissants.
Croissant.
She wants a crumpet.
A crumpet. There
Croissant.
are,
She's good
He's
at
having a
crumpet.
croissant.
if you
Croissant.
wanted, there is plenty of it in the Viceroy's palace. After your breakfast is finished, uncomfortable as it may be for some of you, you are called on by Philippe who once again offers you his thanks for your
Mr.
actions the
Phillipe.
previous evening. He asks Yume how she is adapting to the vampirism. Since she is gone, I will just say that Yume calmly sips the glass of blood.
Sip.
Philippe cork Philippe quirks a smile. He does inform you all that letters have been sent out to the Mazovian nobility post haste, summoning them to a parliament.
Ooh.
Or if we were to use the Mazovian term, a sim.
All right.
The reasons for this are twofold. One, he does want to genuinely try and fix some of the damage that was caused by the time he was under Gios and mismanaging the Viceroyalty. But also, he needs to secure their support so he has a stable base of operations to send his armies into Rus. What has, while you have all been dealing with Ivan and his shenanigans, more news came in on the heels of the announcement of the Tsar's death.
Oh.
Because the thing about news is that it's slow to travel. When Philippe announced that the Tsar had died and that there was no heir apparent, that event happened a couple of weeks ago.
Oh. Okay.
And on its heels came other news that had also happened a couple of weeks ago. The Tsardom of Rus has collapsed into civil war.
Oh no.
Remember how I was talking about reactionaries and reformers and
Yes.
various peoples yearning for independence? Turns out when your strongman dies, the house of cards can easily collapse.
Real and true.
In the land of Rus itself, they sending stones are not actually a thing in this game, or at least in this campaign.
Yeah, not in this campaign. We don't have magic cell
And
phones.
no magic cell phones for you.
Damn.
In the lands of Rus itself, you have received edicts from both the reformer and reactionary factions, which Philippe has laid all of this on the table for you. He basically both are demanding his allegiance to one or the other. As the viceroy of Mazov, he does command a substantial territory, and their logic is if he and Kutuzov actually have a working relationship, getting Philippe on their side possibly gets Kutuzov on their side, which gives a sizable army.
Sure fucking does.
Sure fucking does. On the heels of these announcements, you also have received declarations of independence from areas such as Nordland, a basically Cossack Hedemnate directly to the south, where Ukraine would be, distant lands to the north, not the north, the east,
The East,
where
yes.
where the steppes are, have just declared outright independence as well. And one additional announcement as well. This one sent from the Sultanate of the Great Dragon. Basically, inquiring after the Tsar's health.
I'm sorry. Repeat that last bit.
The Sultanate of the Great Dragon has already learned of the Tsar's death.
Yes.
Their envoy to the capital sent them a letter as soon as he found out, so it's reached them by now.
Oh God.
And they have had time to send a letter to you, Philippe, my bad.
No, you're
Um,
good.
inquiring of the Tsar's health and whether Philippe would like to reassess his relationship with the Sultanate.
I see. I want a vibe check on that so bad.
Um, that is political double talk for you. Might want to talk with us while you can before we just come and take the
Before we
ship
just
we
come
want.
in beat your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. Any place, dude, they're dragons. I'll be real. I'm just a little squishy guy. I don't want to fuck with them.
Um, roll roll history. Uh,
Oh God.
and I will
This is when I
explain.
realize I'm not in the roll 20.
You can just pull up a Google thing.
No, it's okay.
It'll
Hold on. Let me get in the roll 20.
and just make sure you tell everyone what you rolled.
Oh,
Excuse
you
me.
trust me so hard. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm my roll 20 signed me out. I'm being so good and I'm being so good and I've been such a good engaged player, but I still don't have the roll 20 open like a fucking dipshit.
Would you like me to roll it for you? Just so
Here's the thing. I actually have a dice roller open, but if you would like to make a secure roll for me, that you trust, I will not be insulted by it.
I trust you not to
That is
lie.
I was about to say I wouldn't lie over something like this. Okay, let me roll. That is 13 and then is
You have a modifier +4 for history, so that's a
I
17
do.
total.
So that's a 17.
So
Mr.
you
George is smart
actually
boy.
know that while it is called the Sultanate of the Great Dragon, there are not that many dragons who rule over it. There is the Sultan himself, who is a dragon. You do not remember what kind he is.
I'm gonna be real, Chief. One dragon is still a lot.
Um,
Maybe they aren't in this universe you've crafted, but I'm like, damn, one dragon. That's a lot. Even if we do got guns, I don't know why they freak me out so
you
bad.
you could count on two hands the amount of dragons that reside within the Sultanate of the Great Dragon.
Holy shit.
Most most of the inhabitants are dragonborns, kobolds. There are
Yeah.
humans, dwarves. It's a very diverse empire, just like the Ottomans were IRL. But at the tip top are the actual dragons.
That's very
Hmm.
interesting.
Hmm.
I
They
here's the
can
thing.
only
I
be
am
That
so
still sounds like
interested.
a lot of dragons.
Hey, also, hey, Gunter, can I have an aside here just to praise you as a DM? Um,
yes.
I love. We haven't been to the Dragon Sultanate. We have not interacted with them a lot. I want you aware of how much I just fucking love the Dragon Sultanate. Like, I just think they're fucking cool. I
You
think the
will get to
concept
interact with them
is
later.
so fucking good. Like the concept, I'm legit. Every time you bring them up, I get so fucking excited. It probably sounds like disturbing. I was just like, oh fuck, the
um,
dragon place. That sounds cool as fuck.
to give you a little bit of hype and teaser, you will interact with them eventually. That
Yes.
is when you are higher level and will not just immediately be squished.
I
You'll get there.
I was about to say something really questionable, and I'm gonna keep it to myself for now. But just know
Oh,
you'll hear it
really?
eventually. Yeah, no, no.
Really, Sarah?
I wasn't gonna
Really?
say anything weird. You're so lucky I'm not playing a hornier character in this campaign. That's all
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
god.
You're
Hey, Sarah.
so lucky. What?
I think you should.
Yeah, no, I. Do you think he
Um,
could?
I
Yeah,
will,
absolutely.
I will allow you to just say it in meta.
I'm just saying, like, I want Gerard to have a dragon boyfriend.
Get it.
I think he.
Get
I think he should.
it!
I think he should have a dragon.
Get it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's probably not going to
Absolutely.
because it doesn't fit his characterization, but I think it's funny to say.
I think you should
Funny
have
that you think
I
you're good
think you
enough
should
for
have
one
a
of them.
dragon.
Ouch!
See, no, that's exactly the appeal. Go on, say it more.
Ouch! Ouch!
Oh
That's
my
fucking
god.
hilarious.
Say it louder.
Say it louder.
Gunter.
What
Gunter,
time
say it
period do you
louder.
think this is, Alyssa?
Ouch! I mean, it's still rude to say though.
No, it's fucking hilarious. Go off, King. I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying, I shouldn't be. I made Gerard so I could stop being a fucking psychopath in all the games I play. And it's so hard, and I'm trying so hard, and everyone should clap for me. Thank you. Okay,
All right.
Gunter,
So,
I'm sorry. I asked a question and it led us down a path, and I apologize.
um,
I was engaged, but I did want to ask about them because they interest me.
yes, no, you are perfectly fine. You
Still,
will
still sounds like a lot
encounter,
of dragons.
yeah, you will encounter them. In absolute terms, no, but in terms of dragons,
Yes.
I will say from Gerard's history roll, he knows that there are probably in the entire Sultanate, there are probably like 10 or so dragons total.
Damn, that's a lot of
However,
dragons.
however, this having 10 dragons at the top of the Sultanate combined with their mighty armies has enabled them to expand into a large and mighty empire. On the flip side, a large and mighty empire is a lot of ground to cover for 10 dragons, and they cannot be everywhere at once.
Oh,
So,
very
there
real.
may
Again.
be 10 dragons in the Sultanate of the Great Dragon. Will all 10 be in one place at one time? Not unless it is considered a crisis that threatens the very existence of the Sultanate itself.
Interesting.
The
Very good
Civil
to
War in
know.
Bruce, they're not going to send all 10 dragons for that.
Oh yeah, no, this is not a 10 dragon problem. It's not, okay? Like I don't think there's a lot of problems on this earth that are a 10 dragon problem. Are there?
And
No!
Love how you keep
uh,
accidentally stumbling into things, Sarah. I love
No!
it so much.
That's all I
um,
ever do.
like I say, it's cute that you guys made Monty Pythons for this campaign. It's cute that you made funny characters.
Listen,
Um,
it's a D&D campaign. What do you expect us to do?
yeah.
Let me
When have
have
I
my
And
big
ever
here,
titty
not made a
violence.
clown?
here to end this particular digression, the the Rus were able to take lands from the Sultanate for a reason. They have their own methods of dealing with dragons.
I mean, they are vampires.
Yeah, I will leave it at that. For now, you
So,
see the. Go ahead.
sorry, I had a small emergency happen. And I was away from my computer for 2 seconds. Did I miss if we asked if like Philippe seems nervous about the Sultanate of the Great Dragon for some reason?
Um, Not necessarily. Yeah, crisis rating system. How many dragons do you need? Um,
Yeah, it's like DEF CON.
it's like
It's
DEFCON
like
That's
one
what the
dragon.
no,
D in
it's
DEF
like
CON stands for,
no,
dragons, right?
it's like the Waffle House scale but with dragons.
Yeah.
Yep. To answer your question, Alyssa, he is very serious, but he does not seem nervous.
Mhm.
He's not entirely confident about how things will go, but he's not at the point of nervousness yet. Mostly because
Okay.
things have only just started.
Mhm.
As far as the letter from the Sultanate is concerned, Everyone knows that the Sultanate has an axe to grind with Rus and has for some time, so this was expected.
And he's the one that directly received this letter?
Yes.
So,
Interesting.
is there okay, if he is the one who directly received this letter, can I ask kind of like what method allowed us to know what this letter is about? Did he like read it out to us?
He read it out to you. He has
Okay.
laid everything on the table for you, and he has read out this letter in particular. He finishes reading this one. The Sultanate, this was expected. They have, ever since the Lucian conquest of Mazov and the former, the former lands belonging to the Sultanate included in it, they have longed to take it back and avenge their humiliation. Considering that they have their own problems, I do not think we need to worry yet.
Keyword there, yet.
However, since I cannot just give them back what they want, we will eventually have to deal with them. But for now, everything is fine. The fortress at Odessa stands strong and will not simply fall. We have time to figure out a response, but most likely the Sultanate will invade. It's quite soon.
Oh no, I've read Bridge on the Drina. That's not good.
Are you ready for the Russo-Turkish wars? Except,
No, they were really scary. No.
Oh dear.
um, he considers for a second. That is not the problem I think you ought to be concerned with. There is
Uh,
something else I have in mind. A request for you.
oh,
Oh goody.
My chief priority as a Tsarist official is to restore order to the Tsardom. A good
go
first
on.
step to doing this is to secure the imperial capital, which has been left unclaimed by all sides for the moment. It is essentially the court there is essentially a puppet without strings, with no Tsar to preside, and no personality strong enough to assert dominance. It has fallen into limbo, and all the various sides are busy fighting one another to properly march in.
Power vacuum.
To
It is
this
a power
end,
vacuum.
we should move on it first.
I agree, actually.
Securing the imperial capital gives my cause a bit more legitimacy, and any candidate for the throne I sponsor will have a bit more weight. Not only because Kutuzov's army is quite large, but we actually hold the throne and the artifacts associated with it. This
And did
will
you
hopefully go ahead.
and did you have a candidate in mind?
Not yet. The Unfortunately, the Tsar only had one heir at the time of his death, and that heir passed along with him. Essentially, the bloodline has gone extinct.
Can I ask about the circumstance of the heir also dying?
As far as we know, they were both attending a dinner when they both essentially began coughing up blood quite violently, if the descriptions are to be believed, and had the staff had little time to do anything before they both collapsed in pools of their own blood.
They were poisoned.
Perhaps magic might have been at work. Poison. Who knows?
Hmm.
In in the chaos, there's not been any time for an investigation, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, at the moment, I don't have any candidates in mind. I obviously can't propose myself, since that just looks like a powder grab.
I was about to say, proposing yourself will
Agreed.
just make you look like you, for lack of anything I'm able to deliver, but bluntless. Uh, it would make it look like you murdered him, wouldn't it?
Possibly, yes.
Agreed.
It's not a
And
very good idea, sadly.
it helps our cause if I simply blood is usually supposed to go in the vampires, yes.
I was about to say, I was like, their own blood? Really? It seems secondhand to me.
um,
But yes, while there is no candidate in mind, that is not a pressing concern yet. We actually need the capital first for any candidate I propose to be taken seriously and possibly win over other factions.
and you're asking
Bef-
for our help in seizing it.
yes, the army
Or
itself can take the capital. That is not the
Oh,
issue.
Phillipe, I
Um,
have a question.
you may answer, Mashia. What is it? You may ask
I have a,
Mashia. What
I
is
have
it?
a, I have a, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Are we going to get to play spies?
Yes.
Excellent. May I make a request?
What is your request, Mashia?
I want to chop some people's heads off.
lady, that doesn't count as spying.
Oh
That
shit.
that's not that's
That's
execution, not spy
murder.
work.
That's yes, yes, that's not spy work, lady.
I mean, if
Now
you
I
need
have
to
to be
keep
stealthy.
if you have to silence witnesses, then chopping off their head is a good way to keep them quiet.
Oh my god.
That is
That's
true. I
very
can also
French.
just cut off their
Sorry, that's very
tongues.
fantasy French of her.
It's almost like
Um,
we're still in the French Revolutionary time.
Oh god.
Um,
anywho,
but yes,
Any road.
before we can capture the imperial capital, and part of the reason that I am asking for your assistance, the lands directly north of the Viceroyalty, the province known as Nordland, need to be subjugated first.
hmm,
It is essentially a province run by the Germanian nobility who reign there. They he pauses for a minute. Imagine a land with no king, but a strong aristocracy of barons and counts who rule over the local peoples with absolute iron authority.
So like an oligarchy.
Yes, uh, most of
I
the
don't know
people
why I
there,
know that.
most of the people there are still in serf. The clergy and nobility have most of the wealth and power, and while they loyally served the Tsar before, part of the reason that they are so that it is a non-vampiric nobility there is that a previous Tsar granted them concessions and privileges in exchange for their fealty. Now that the
hmm.
Tsar is dead, they most likely feel that they should go their own way.
But if we
They are in.
secure their concessions once more, would they feel differently?
Hmm. Philippe pauses. In terms of realpolitik, that would be the simplest way, but one,
But
you have all heard of the serfdom which reigns in the Russian heartland, yes? How it is quite firm on its hold in its hold on the populace.
mm,
Imagine
firm is
that.
polite.
Imagine that, but with even less regard for sentient life.
Hmm.
People, serfs there are not people, they are objects, goods to be bought and sold at leisure, property to be done with as you like. Considering that I am summoning the Mazovian nobility to a sim very soon to secure their support, I don't think offering such concessions to the Germanian nobles in Nordland would go over well with them.
Hmm.
But if you
Thus,
don't do that, you run the risk of the revolt getting worse. It completely lacks security as a move.
there's no revolt yet.
Hmm.
And the Mazovian nobility have they would be averse to the spread of serfdom, mostly because they would see that as another way of the Rus cementing authority here, and would probably not be inclined to provide money and men to help spread it, or secure it in this case. To that end, I will be asking General Kutuzov to send some of his forces there to occupy the province as a staging ground for eventually seizing the capital. I
Hmm.
have roughly sketched a program proclaiming the liberation of the serfs there to win popular support. And there is, and this is where you all come in. I need you to go ahead and ascertain the actual situation in the province. When last I was in Nordland, which was admittedly some years ago, there was a split among the barons there, similar to the one going on in the vampiric aristocracy itself. Reformers wanting to lighten the burdens on the serfs or even abolish it, versus conservatives who wanted to avoid change at all costs.
That sounds familiar.
See if any reformers there or any peasant leaders might be willing to assist us. And
So
that
not
might make the
spies.
occupation
We are being what is the word? What is the word? Diplomats.
a combination of both, my share.
I am not a very good diplomat, but for you, I will try.
That is all I can ask.
We're all gonna fucking die here. Um, he does not say that out loud. Um,
Well, it is a request I cannot force you, but your help would be greatly appreciated. You have proven in recent days that you all have good heads on your shoulders for this sort of thing.
that we do. We're smart little boys and girls, barely. Um, remember Gunter having to chant to himself, "Puzzles for babies,
Puzzles
puzzles
for
for babies."
babies.
Puzzles,
Um, you're
baby,
so
baby
God,
puzzles,
baby puzzles.
Baby
Oh, but
baby
puzzles.
puzzles.
the puzzles may be for babies, but the trauma won't be. Anyway,
Hmm.
No, that
Anyway.
I'm okay with actually.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I like trauma. I love traumatizing characters.
all right.
Traumatize me, make me feel something for once.
So
Oh my god.
to that end, you may all consider whether you would like to accept Philippe's request. I would highly recommend it. Nudge, nudge.
I was gonna
Ladies
say,
down,
as the guy that controls
ladies
the
down.
plot, I have a feeling he's trying to recommend we do that.
Do this. Yes.
And he's right.
So you accept?
I was about to say, here's the thing. Gerard was asking him a lot of pointed questions, which I feel like it gave off the vibe that he inherently disagreed with this. He didn't. He's just overly cautious and has opinions.
No, that is valid. You are being asked by someone to scout out a province to ascertain the situation to assist in an invasion of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, Gerard is going to have questions because he keeps he needs a shirt that says "Don't ever put me in a situation," but also he doesn't because people keep putting him in a fucking situation.
Um, yeah, like Yume's down to do this. I feel like I should ask like ahead of time, like if like some of the if like any of the situation with the Dreamwalkers has happened off screen. Like, has she? Are we gonna go ahead
Um,
and say that she's already told the Green Hand that she's been turned into a vampire?
that happened literally the previous night. This is the morning after.
Yeah,
Okay,
she had her
so the
meeting and her
Um,
baptism.
Green Hand knows that she's a
uh,
vampire.
did you tell them?
Well, that's what I'm asking, is if we're saying that that happened.
Um,
Because if not,
that
no.
happened. That happened last night, and then after it was done, unless you specifically made efforts to tell them, they have not been informed.
Yeah, then in that case, because what I was asking is if we were gonna say that that happened off screen, but if we're going with
Um,
that, then no, they probably don't know.
and I'm going to go ahead and give you all this. You are about to enter a time skip
Oh yes.
because I am not going to make you deal with the politics of a noble parliament, basically. I get the feeling none of you want to do that.
You don't Here's the thing, Gunter. It's less that we don't want to do that. It's just I want you to imagine yourself having to fucking manage that with the clown squad you've gathered.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Like,
I'd
yeah,
rather
no.
control it
Like
as much as I
someone to be
can.
trying to put their tits out on the desk. Like, you know better. You know better.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you what happens at instead of giving you a chance to influence what happens.
Good work, King. I trusted you for
All
good
right.
reason.
So, with the knowledge that I'm about to enter you into a time skip, is there anything you want to do?
Gerard is good. He's good.
Um, I think it's kind of important to Yume that she tells her family where she's going.
Yeah, and also other
Um,
things.
a few other things. Um,
Yeah, I
eh,
was wondering about that. I saw something, but I don't know enough to actually say what it was.
Wait, I'm sorry. Back up a little. What was that?
you saw what?
I saw something flash on the screen. Katie
Oh.
has put in the stream. No one
Oh
saw
my
that.
god. Okay, I see it now. I was like, no
I
one saw that.
remember seeing something. It's like Gerard's dream. There is something brushing against my leg, but I have no idea
Um,
what it was.
Yeah, it's something brushes
sorry,
against your leg and then darts out of
She's
sight
removed the no
immediately.
one
sorry.
saw that.
Um,
No one saw it.
sorry.
Exactly.
Privately DM'd her about there's something wrong on the screen, and she's corrected it, and that's
Ah,
what that was about.
gotcha. Okay.
I want to know what it was.
I'll tell you later. Don't worry.
We will worry about it later.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, so pay no attention to the tech crew.
Pay no attention to the tech crew.
Poor Katie.
But how can we not pay
Pay
attention
no
when you do so
attention
much
to the
for
person
us?
behind the curtain.
The person behind the curtain.
We love you,
Katie's so important
Katie.
and cool and also funny. I love her so much.
We
Yes.
love you, Katie.
Love Katie. Kiss on
Anyway,
mouth.
where okay, so did you want to role play that, Gunter, or
We can if you want.
I will leave that up to you. I am fine either way.
Uh, I would prefer to get the ball rolling a little bit, so I think we will just say you tell them. Um, they are a bit skeptical, but they see the obvious benefits of one of their people being a member of the Midnight Aristocracy.
True, true.
And it's hard for them to argue with you securing from the Viceroy himself rights that basically make you citizens.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
sort of
fair.
thing you guys have been dreaming of for ever since the since before the roost came, honestly.
Yeah, basically.
It's them reparations, baby.
Since the Green
Philippe,
Hand was like officially a thing.
yeah, Philippe does ask you in particular if any of the Green Hand would be willing to assist in scouting out Nordland.
Oh, boy, would
Uh,
they.
Hi. Okay. Hey, this is a great resource. Please use it. I'm so excited.
yeah, um, he, yeah, rights that you have been given rights, but Philippe and the other Rusians might expect something in return for that.
Um, and so I'm guessing that's what this is them expecting.
Um, he is not so crass as to imply that these new rights and privileges hinge on you guys serving as
I
scouts for
wouldn't
his
have
army,
thought so.
but
Yeah,
he scratched your back. He would like it if you scratched his.
and I think Yume agrees with that policy.
Not to mention, I think we can keep scratching each other's backs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just have a little
Yeah, this is an
scratching circle.
ally. You do stuff for each other.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're in my corner, I'll be in yours.
yeah. Um, when you announce what has happened to the rest of the Dreamwalkers after informing your family, you do see multiple people just break out into tears.
Oh,
Uh, there are there are some who are so old that they remember a time when there are some quite a few who are old enough that they remember a time when it was not the viceroyalty of Mazov, but the kingdom of Great Mazov.
mhm,
They never could have imagined this.
yeah.
There are people who have lost children because they were treated as second-class citizens. Um,
Well, Yume sort of knows that feeling.
yeah, you, hmm you see some, you see Dreamwalkers with partners who are non-Dreamwalkers looking at each other in shock because they realize they can now legally get married. People are talking about whether they should get a home in the city or go out into the countryside because they can now do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Hey
your
guys, I
people
think we did
are
something good.
flabbergasted.
We Oh, she's absolutely flabbergasted.
There is I did not mention this in the last session because so much had already happened. You do need to tell them one provision that came with the granting of these rights and privileges.
Okay.
The Dreamwalkers, while they do walk in dreams, will be treated as a criminal if they dreamwalk on someone without their consent.
You know what? That's fair.
Philippe is not so stupid as to just give you guys carte blanche. He is going to say that there are limits.
Yeah,
it's a
no,
very like sensible limit, but yeah.
Because here's the
no,
thing, you
that's
shouldn't
valid.
just walk into someone's brain without their consent. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cool
yeah, that's
power
fair.
though. I'm not saying everyone use it maliciously, but like here's the thing. Imagine if you like live next door to like a fucking FBI agent and you just walked in there and were like, "Hey man, what's up?" Oh god.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's fair.
That's right.
but yeah. Yeah, like you may just did.
Yeah, like I was about to say, "Oh, you mean how Yume just did?" Yume's already broke the law again.
Well,
She's
Um
nobility, she's above the law. Anyway.
Oh God! Hey guys, speaking of being above the law, I need to stand up and blow out a candle, so I'll be back.
uh-oh.
Nice.
No, it's fine. It's nothing's on fire. We're fine. It's all good.
Woo! Alright. So is there
Nothing
anyone
better
else
be
that
on
has
fire in our
something
house.
is there anyone else that has something they want to do before time skip happens?
Um,
Oh no.
Oh no,
is that
that was Sarah, I think.
yeah, that was Sarah. Um, I
I'm
think
very
that's
sorry about that. We're
all.
all good.
I think that's all I needed to take care of was, catching Yume's family up on everything. Um,
Yeah.
did what about Lady or Gerard or Lady or Ray?
As I say,
Wait.
Gerard's good.
Uh, I
I
will.
cannot hear what
Ray,
he's saying.
Ray.
So
I cannot hear what Ray is saying.
is that Mr. Ray? Is the
I wasn't
silence?
saying anything. My Ray my sound cut out for half a second. So
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
okay.
Ah,
So, do you have anything you would like to do before the time skip happens?
I don't think
Ray?
so.
All right.
He's just kind of going through the motions right now of everything. He's still riding his bard high from last time.
Felt.
I fucking love him. He's like blushing into his coffee. He's so proud of himself. So smitten.
All right. Well, in that case, 3 months pass.
okay.
Big time skip.
Um,
Okay.
for you all, it has been a 3 months of noble balls, soirees, helping the Dreamwalkers settle into their newfound lives. You do notice that among the options a lot of them choose, there are quite a few who take offers to join the military as scouts, spies, or who join the police force because dreamwalking is quite useful to discover if someone murdered a person or did some other crime.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, you have all observed from a distance the progress of the sim. The Mazovian nobles were not expecting this about face at all, but they're not going to just let this opportunity slip.
Mhm.
Eventually, through many negotiations, wheeling and dealing, talking behind closed doors at these balls and parties, Philippe and the Mazovian nobility are able to come to a compromise.
Mhm.
Firstly, they sign a pledge affirming that they will give money, men, material to help support the Russian army and Mazov as it begins its own operations to reclaim Rus.
Mhm.
Essentially, while it is a Russian army in name, it is now being funded and equipped and supplied with men and women by the Mazovian nobility.
Mhm.
In exchange for that, and pledging loyalty to whoever Philippe declares to be new czar, they have clawed back some of the old rights and privileges that were taken in the initial Rus invasion. Families that had lost land outright were had it returned. Um, they now serve. They have reinstituted an old royal council, which advised the king at the time. In this case, they advised Philippe,
Mhm.
and le- and they do have the ability to confirm or deny any laws or something he might want to pass.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Um, I call it a council. This is essentially a parliament
Okay.
because it is the Mazovian nobility.
Yeah.
And it is expected that, as far as Mazov is concerned at least, that this model will be held to when the Tsardom is restored by Philippe's armies.
Okay.
As for the Mazovian people, the merchants have been granted back some of their old trading rights that were taken away in exchange for that were basically taken away and given to Rus merchants instead, to control the economy. While though they were not able to completely regain those, they have been granted legislation that makes for more fair competition.
Mhm.
As for the peasantry, uh they have been given a few things. They
God,
had
the
no
hesitation
representatives.
in your voice.
I know a lot of people are expecting when I say that this is like a constitutional monarchy, essentially, like rights for the people, all that,
Oh no,
Mm,
equality
no,
under the law,
Gunter.
and all
Gunter,
that.
we're not expecting that. This is a bad place.
I'm referring to the chat mostly.
Oh, okay.
Um, there are a few things. Taxes will be collected in a more fair manner. There won't be cases like what you saw the very first session where
yeah.
a tavern keeper was forced to pay double taxes just because an official was wanted him to. There are actually rules against that. Oh yeah, that's another thing. There have been several measures taken to root out corruption in the bureaucracy.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's a
While it
step.
is still staffed by Rusians, um, Philippe does understand that for now, the lands he controls are basically the old kingdom of Great Mazov. And as
Mhm.
such, they need to act slightly differently. No more collecting double taxes, no more intimidation, that sort of thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
A more equitable system. The
More
peasants
basic
haven't been
human
granted,
decency.
yeah, the peasants definitely haven't gotten representation or anything, but compared to what it was, could be worse.
It's like eating dry porridge instead of eating mud,
Yeah.
which is an improvement.
Yeah.
At least
And
it's people food.
most importantly
Yeah.
of all, and this has big implications for when Philippe's forces start conquering the rest of Rus. He was forced to sign a pledge that serfdom would not be instituted at any point heretofore in the viceroyalty of Mazov, and
Well, that's
that
something.
if at all possible, to make sure that this provision would hold more weight with any future czarist government, any candidate for the throne that Philippe nominates must consent to the eventual abolishment of serfdom in the entire Tsardom of Rus.
Interesting.
Ah, fun, fun, fun. I can't imagine that's
So,
popular back home, but
it will get it will endear people to you.
I was about to
Um,
say it will endear common people. I can't imagine it would be very popular in nobility, but uh
Yeah.
endearing common people to you in this era is
um,
actually more important than a lot of other things. Stares nervously at France. Anyway, uh,
it depends on how the common people are affected by the serfdom. Some of them
yeah.
will rejoice at that. Some of them will frantically beg you to not tear them away from their master because they know nothing else. Some
Yeah,
of
that's
them
fair.
will weigh the pros and cons to see how it might benefit them. Um, for the nobility, the reformers will naturally see this as a positive development, and it will garner support from them. The reactionaries, I don't think I need to say what their reaction will be. Heh.
Yes.
This does cause a bit of a problem for you in the short term because the province that Phillipe plans to invade, whose preparations of which are nearing completion, is built upon serfdom. And the Nordic nobility there the vast majority of them will resist ferociously, knowing that you guys intend to do away with serfdom.
Oh yeah, they're gonna freak the fuck out.
Yep.
Fuck them though. I mean, come on, do your own work. Fuck off.
Right?
Roll his uh roll history.
Which one of
All of
us?
all of us?
Sure, all of you.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh
Oh,
no.
no,
I have to
Not
actually
easier
open
if
roll
I remember
20.
to pull out my
Nobody has
character
the fucking
sheet.
roll 20 open tonight. Okay,
That is
hey,
partially my fault. I thought we would not be needing roll 20, but now I'm realizing it might have been a good idea to have it open.
here's the thing. You just have to trust us with our rolls. I'm gonna roll a d20 right now and then add the 4. So I got a
I got a
6 plus
5.
4. I got a 6 plus 4. I only have a 10.
10.
We don't fucking know anything in this group.
Lady
You
has
got
Ray
a
got a
like, really
22.
doesn't know anything.
Okay, Ray
Yeah.
fucking knows. Ray fucking
Ray got a
knows.
22. What did Lady get?
A 3.
Okay.
I got a
Per
5.
usual, she don't know nothing.
Ray, you know that in the
All.
province of Nordland, all don't get cocky.
Oh.
You know that in the province of Nordland, otherwise known as Sevenaya Provincia, that similar to the Rus and Rus itself, the nobility there is divided. There are some who believe that if they are to survive the turbulent times, they need to adapt, and that includes doing things like either abolishing serfdom or lessening the burdens it places on the peasants.
Mhm.
Others, far more than the reformers, understand that serfdom is the cornerstone of their power, and they will do everything they can to preserve it.
Mhm.
Um, as far as their ability to actually resist, the forces that Philippe and Kutuzov have at their command far outnumber what was in Nordland at the time. At the time that the Rus was still whole. So in terms of numbers, you have the advantage. But as a trade-off, the Germanian nobility in Nordland had raised several very elite units,
Hmm.
which, in terms of combat prowess, outstrip quite a few most regulars, and will be difficult to fight.
Hmm.
That is part of the reason that you are being sent in advance to ascertain what the actual situation is there, what the attitudes of these units are, and whether you can find enough Germanian nobility in Nordland who will be willing to assist you, along
Hmm.
with spreading the proclamation among the common people to hopefully incentivize them to rise up in support of your invasion.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Hmm.
that is
Hmm.
what Ray's juicy 22 gets him.
That was a very juicy 22. Lord.
What can I say? Ray likes to hit the history books.
He does.
All right.
3.
So,
We forget. Ray grew up in Louis Soix. Everything is
Louis
history.
Soix. He went to the University of Louis Soix, known
He
for its
went to the
history program.
the University of Louis Soix. Here's the thing, Gunter. I feel like I bring it up every fucking session. I cannot believe you got away with letting me name it that, and then you're stuck calling it that for the rest of the campaign. Like, I snuck up on you with a bat, and I'm like, haha, yeah, you get to name Louisiana after a fucking Final Fantasy character. No, you can't escape it anymore, because now it's canon.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm sorry. But also, kind of proud of it. It's a good name. Louis Sua's a good name.
That is hilarious.
That old ass man.
It's funny every single time.
And then Gunter's never gonna let me fucking name anything ever again, because he doesn't trust me. And he's right.
Yeah, honestly.
I've learned my lesson.
Aw, you don't trust little old me anymore.
With that voice, absolutely not.
You don't trust little old me anymore. You don't trust me.
God.
C'est la vie.
All right. So, with all of that context in mind, you have all been preparing yourselves for this endeavor.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and with that in mind, I would like to make an announcement. You have all advanced to level 5.
Yes.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. That was really, really loud. Sorry.
Um you had advanced to level 4 just by dint of your actions during the last session. I will say 3 months' time is enough training and practice and preparation that you just advance another level.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
Partly
to remember how
because
to
I'm not
properly
going to
level.
be as forgiving with combat, and you need to be at least sort of prepared for it.
Yes. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. I need to level up my thing in
Level
D&D.
up.
I need a Oh, so now you get to use the voice.
Oh gosh, I'm trying
Ooh.
to remember what my lowest stats are.
I'm God, I'm above the law.
Let me see. Hey, Alyssa, you use D&D Beyond more than me. What button do you press to level up?
Do you see like the little like
Is
hammer
it
and
the
anvil?
anvil? Okay, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
anvil. Okay, good to know. So I just hit. Okay, nice to know. Thank you.
Hey, Gunter.
Idiot. I will absolutely not approve that petition to put Sarah in charge of names.
Hey, Gunter.
Yes.
I want you to know that I'm making Lady a firearms specialist.
Oh boy. So, not only does she have her axe, she has guns.
She
Now,
knows
okay, wait,
way
what
too much about guns.
hang on, what class is Lady again? She's
Barbarian.
barbarian.
She's
Mhm.
barbarian.
Incredible. Love
Um,
that.
because of the unique prevalence of firearms in this campaign, I am being a bit more flexible with that. You like you're not a gunslinger, but because firearms are so common, it is not beyond the pale for you to just have that proficiency, especially if
Mhm.
you engage in violence quite often.
That and you and I both know she's never putting down that axe.
Yep.
Hey,
All
also
right.
Gunter, can I read
Yes.
you a fun new ability that I get now that I'm a 5th level cleric?
Oh yes, please do.
Okay, cool. It's called Destroy Undead. Um,
Oh,
s-
lovely.
Starting at the 5th level, when an undead fails its saving throw against your turn undead feature, the creature is instantly destroyed. if if its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold as shown in the destroy undead table, which is a chart. For now, things don't instantly explode unless they're very low challenge level. But just
So
know I have
the
that in
way
my pocket, and you might have to work around that. I apologize.
so because of the unique lore for Rusian vampires,
Yes.
you will find that does I'm going to say that you tried practicing this in a very controlled set of circumstances. Um, that would not automatically work on a Rusian vampire just because if they
No.
are baptized in the Great Orthodoxy, they have the protection of the Rusian gods from things that would normally kill vampires, like holy magic.
Yes. That, and I also imagine just on a game technical level, those things challenge level are more than like a half of a point. So you're probably
Yeah.
good. Also for lore reasons, it makes sense. If we are fighting any other kind of undead creature, though, throw me at him like a little gun. It'd be hilarious.
Oh, it would not be a campaign with vampires if there weren't other undead as well. Don't worry.
No. Oh, I don't think I leveled him up right. Oh
It is
no.
fine.
That's okay. I'll figure it out. I'm doing it
All
while I'm
right.
listening to you, so don't worry about it.
Let's see if refreshing. There we are. Level 5. Excellent. Okay, so with all that, your preparations are as complete as they can be. You are advancing. You are going to enter Nordland discreetly ahead of the army, which will follow roughly a day or so behind you. No, correction. The army will follow after you send them a bit of information so that they have a good lay of the land. So,
Hmm.
and while you are waiting for that day, you will need to be a bit careful with how you proceed because you will essentially be in enemy territory without backup.
Oh, yikes.
Yep. Uh, there is good news for you. The person in charge of the detachment, which numbers about 20,000 men, is Bolkonsky,
Oh boy.
who your favorite vampire, Alyssa,
Yeah,
who,
you may still doesn't 100% trust him anymore.
gee, he's so untrustworthy, begging you to stop a
Listen,
riot from turning into a massacre.
listen. Sometimes emotions aren't rational.
I know, but I'm still gonna give you shit. With that in mind, Kutuzov being short of capable officers needs men to fill in the gaps. So his aide has been promoted to the rank of general, basically, and he has been put in charge of the thrust into Nordland. The reason Kutuzov himself is not doing that is in the 3 months that you have been preparing, the anticipated invasion by the Sultanate has occurred, and
Oh
there is
boy.
fighting along the southern border.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy,
Kutuzov is
oh
Oh
not
boy.
boy.
known as one of the best Russian generals for nothing. He is holding the line and giving at least somewhat positive news, but he is tied down with a good chunk of the army.
Mhm.
Um, there is a third detachment with the rest of the army that is not being used for garrisoning and police. That is massed basically in the area where Belarus would be. It is serving as a guard against any incursions by other factions and from the Russian heartland who might try to make a dash for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have it is actually commanded by the one of the Mazovian nobility. Let me pull up old notes real quick. Here they are. The Duke of Galicia, the Duke of Galicia, actually, yes.
Do
As
we know
part of the
him?
compromise. He was at the ball. You did not meet him
He wasn't one of the ones that
yourself.
we met?
Yeah.
Man, we met
If I
several little guys.
if I am
But you
remembering
met
right,
so
he
many.
is the guy that fought Kutuzov to a standstill in the initial invasion of Mazov,
Oh.
and and eventually signed a truce with him, which guaranteed his rights, which Kutuzov caught flack for.
Mm.
And long story short, as part of the multiple compromises that Philippe made with the nobility, he was given command of one of the armies.
Very interesting. What a
Hmm.
So
guy.
his order, he has been told to basically hold the line, make sure no one gets through and tries to ravage Mazov heartland so that the armies on the flanks can still be supplied, supported.
Yeah.
Um, you, I will not make you roll history since he has a bit of a reputation. He is known as a pretty solid commander. You do, and people generally consider that unless he is hit with absolutely overwhelming force, that he you can be confident he'll hold the line. But as a person, you don't know that much about him.
All
Interesting.
right.
Okay, so reliable as someone under employ, but we don't know a lot about his personality.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And during this, how much time? Okay, so in the place we have arrived at, have we been around this man a lot, or is this kind of like a new thing?
Uh, he
Or
was
are we
tapped
just
pretty.
still kind of getting like that lay of the land bird's eye view?
During the time skip, you did not see him speak much at the SEM, but he kind of sat back and let others do the politicking. He's more of a military man at heart.
Ah, I see. He's a working man. I
Yeah,
understand that. Okay.
I
working man,
Um,
respect
quote
that.
unquote.
working man.
I respect
um,
that.
but when it came time to when it came to commanding the armies, something that Kutuzov and Philippe had to do was go to the Mazovian nobility to ask for officers,
Okay.
because part of the thing about having political polarization is that can extend to the military, and quite a few officers serving in Kutuzov's army, when news broke, a good bit of them did desert to leave for their home areas to offer services for
Hmm.
either the ideology that they believe in or their province.
Hmm.
So to fill that
Interesting.
gap, which, while it wasn't overwhelming, was still quite big, Mazovians have been tapped. Usually nobles, but there are now quite a few Mazovians commanding Russian troops.
Ooh.
What a complicated little situation.
That it has not been tested yet. Well, it sort of has. There's fighting in the south, obviously,
I was about to say there's fighting
and
in the south and it's holding question mark.
yeah, yeah. Things seem to be going well. It's a bit early to tell whether it will swing
It
one
is
way or the
for
other.
3 months. It's very early to tell.
Yeah. Um, the true test is expected to come in the north, which is going to be the first invasion. It's one thing for an army to be on the defense, but it is an entirely different ballgame to conquer and occupy a province, even if you are acting as liberators, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
You're,
mean, any kind of intrusive battle is a harder one.
yeah, but yeah, that is the larger military situation.
Okay. Now, can I
I,
ask about our personal situation of what we kind of been up to now that we have the bird's eye view? I know we have been doing a lot of politicking,
yes,
but I also know after this 3 month time skip, we have probably been doing groundwork. And what has that kind of looked like? I can't imagine we've kind of just been sitting back in someone's tent and listening. We do have a job to do. So,
yeah.
have we
Um,
been split up? Are we working? What are we doing?
so obviously there's the fact that you've all trained and leveled up a bit. Um, Lady, you and Gerard and Lady have been hanging out with Philippe quite a bit, helping mostly to de-stress. Because while he is no longer under Gias, he is still having to deal with noble politics, and that is
Can I be
stressful
very
regardless of your mental
blunt?
state.
Can I be very
Yes.
blunt with something about Philippe with Gerard?
Yes.
Gerard doesn't fucking like him.
Yeah.
This has not been made obvious because Gerard is polite. Gerard does not like Philippe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Can-
I did not want to make that like go unsaid. He does not like him. He will put up
Well,
with him because Lady likes him. He does not like him.
now, on that note, can we ask why?
No.
Okay.
He has not told anyone and he is very good at hiding it. He does not like him.
Out of curiosity,
Interesting.
Sarah, DM it to me.
Oh, I'll tell it to you. Don't worry about it.
I will
But
not reveal it to anyone, but I would like to know.
I will tell you at a different point. It is important to
Yes.
remember he does not like Philippe. I will tell you it is kind of petty, but also there is a reason. It's fine.
Is this like the reason you don't like Conda from D. Grey Man?
No. There is a more valid reason than that because for Gerard, Philippe is not a fictional character. He is
Yeah.
a
Yeah, that's
guy that
fair.
he has to be in the same room with all the time who likes his friend. Um, and it's awkward for him. But no, he does not fucking like him, but he can get over it, and he has not been letting it get in the way of his work. So he is fine. I just wanted it to be said.
A consummate professional.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
he's
know
professional.
Yume has been busy acting as a representative of the Dreamwalkers, helping people get settled into whatever new path they've chosen. Also dealing with the life of a vampire noble, which involves balls, soirees, parties,
Oh, her soirees. Her
Which
soirees.
soirees.
is still very different for her.
Yeah.
Can we have a
You
Yume goes to etiquette school arc? I think it would be funny.
one of the
No.
things she did have to do was read a book given to her by Philippe and Lady detailing noble etiquette.
What was the book
I
called?
wouldn't
Please give
Why
me
is
a
he
title.
gifting a book?
Can we make up a
Now,
title?
Court for Dummies.
Damn it!
now,
I was thinking more like Madame Popkin's handmade for fine ladies. Come on, man.
now, Gunter, I love you so
Yes.
much. Yume does not listen to any piece of advice in that book.
I was going to leave it to you whether you actually accepted this advice, but they did give it to you.
Yeah, they did give it to you.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we're
Um
allowed to say people tried to give you advice.
Here, let me think
Like,
of an actual serious title for the book they give you.
now I cannot stress that she did read it, but she only
I
took like maybe 50% of the advice in the book.
I
Well,
like
she
how
already did that.
Gunter has
Lady
gone through
hasn't
like
even read it.
yeah, Gunter has gone through the effort of creating a very rich story world and political situation here, but now we're making him take time out of his fucking day to make up a fake book title that will make us laugh.
From
I
Um,
sewers to
mean,
soirees.
from
yeah.
Sewers to Suarez.
Some Sewers to
Hmm,
Soirees is really,
okay.
really fucking good. It was written just for her. Um, yeah, and this is Gunter. I just want to tell you that is what being a DM is about.
Yeah, no, it is no, don't worry. I am enjoying this. I just thought of a title actually.
And it is.
Madame Debussy's Guide for Fine Ladies Making Their Debut into Society.
Debussy.
Debussy's, yes.
Debussy.
Madame Debussy.
Fuck! That's good. That's really good.
Oh. I can hear Nikki's laughing.
Good work. Good work. Good work. Excellent work, Captain. I've always trusted you at the wheel. Um,
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to
Gun-
live up to your trust.
Also, like, hey, I talk a lot about DMing, but I just want to give a snapshot into what playing a game DM'd by me is like. The last session that me and Nikki did, halfway through it, I think not even halfway through it, like 2/3 of the way through it, I left and came back with like a bottle of soju with a straw in it and drank the whole thing before we finished the campaign session.
Oh my god. I've not been driven to that yet.
Oh no, I was having it. They were
Yet.
subjected to that. I was not
Oh,
driven to it. I
beautiful.
just wanted to do it.
I
Oh,
was
you wanted
trying
to
my
drag
best
them
to
to
do
it.
some puzzles. It did
Yes.
not go well.
Yeah, I
Ah.
did that, and then I had to lead a puzzle, and I ended up having to
You
be so confused by the
poor
puzzle. I did
Nikki.
the puzzle.
Nikki, I love you so much. You were so out of it when you wrote your session note.
It was titled To Pepsi Cola.
It was
To
titled
Pepsi
to
Cola.
Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola has nothing to do with our campaign.
But also, hey, it was still a very good session. So I
It
don't
was
think that,
fun.
yeah, it was like a exceedingly good session. Okay.
So, Lady has been doing that, reading the fine work of Madame Debussy.
You mean Miss
Lady?
Yume?
Miss Yume,
I'm
yes,
sure
I'm
Lady's
sorry.
been
Yeah,
reading it too.
you
She can't
may
fucking
Lady
read,
can't
but
Yes.
read.
you may read
She
it.
can't.
You may read it, and she did laugh at most of it.
Um,
It's not a comedy. She just thinks high society life is funny.
no, High
it
Society
can
is a
it can be
comedy.
very funny. Yeah, I remember that. You did drink 2/3 of a bottle of soju. Before we digress much further, um,
Katie.
I am still proud of her for that.
Good job, Katie.
Good job,
The
Good job,
Katie.
Katie.
Please don't get
Ray
alcohol poisoning again.
Ray has also been attending all these balls and soirees and has since made up for his last fumble and has proven to be quite the ladies' man. Um,
Oh.
not dallying with anyone because
Uh-huh.
not being an absolute slut, unless Lexi would like Ray to be an absolute slut, but still.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, all right. Then in that case, you have had more than a few trysts.
I like that he's like, yeah, he's fucked. Like,
I am not going to beat around the bush. This is the
Some
Napoleonic period,
emotional
which involves a lot of
damage.
fucking
Um,
some emotional damage. You've caused some emotional damage with the hearts you've
that he,
broken.
I have caused some emotional damage. Ray has a lot of emotional damage to get through.
He
Um,
does.
the characters themselves don't know. But yeah, no, there's a lot of emotional damage to go through, and
Now,
so he's coping. It's not
now
a
I
good way
have
to
he's
cope,
coping by being a
but
whore?
he's coping.
I will
now
say one person in
Yes.
particular that
Good.
you do come back to repeatedly is the Countess of Royal Poison. Turns out she and her
Ooh.
husband aren't in a marriage of love, but politics, and they don't mind one another
oh my god.
sleeping around so long as they keep it discreet.
Okay, but I have an important question.
I have an important answer.
His room or hers?
Depends on the night.
I was gonna
Both.
say, hey, yeah, I was gonna say both. That's a
Because
Ray question.
like I feel like it's very important to note that Yume probably has walked in to that on a few
With
occasions at least.
I
without
mean, you ignored
asking
the sock on
again?
you ignored the sock on the door. That's the classic blunder.
Yeah, dude. There's like a sock on the door in the dream realm.
Scrunchie on the door?
If someone is having a horny dream, there is a sock there.
The ascot.
No, I'm not
The
talking about
ascot on the
dream
door.
walking. I'm talking about
Oh,
real walking.
you may know. How much ass have you seen?
There's still a sock on the door, you may.
Yeah, that's her fault.
Okay, but does he
Yeah.
put it out on because they have like a whole suite to themselves? Does he put it outside the suite or just on his room?
So you may why are you walking into Ray's suite?
Both.
Yeah, why are you going into Ray's room?
Okay, Lexi, be honest. Is it always in his bed?
Hmm.
That's a good question.
No.
Exactly.
We all had to sit there and very firm, we all had to think about it.
It's happened once or twice.
You've
Gerard
seen
frantically
some
plays the
weird.
violin as loud as he can.
Yes, no, he is playing the violin really loud. Like he's so fucking nervous. He's so fucking nervous right now.
So yes, that is what you have all been doing with your personal lives. Actually, I do need to ask. Lady and Yume, have you
Oh.
had any conversations since The time skip.
That's an excellent question.
You don't have to detail them for me. You can just say if
Now,
you've had any moments or anything like that. And the same extends
I'm
to anyone else.
I'm willing to say yes. Um,
Lady, have you accepted Yume's advances?
I didn't realize I was on mute, and I'm sorry. I've been commenting this entire time.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God,
no!
Oh my god.
Nikki.
Oh my god,
Look.
Nikki. She's been oh my god, Nikki had her mic muted. Oh my
I was like,
god.
man, I'm being really funny over here. and Nobody's laughing at my jokes. And then I
Oh
was
my
like,
god, she
that's
thought we
Oh
were
on
all just
me,
fucking anyway.
no!
actually.
Oh my god, he
Oh
has
no,
tuxedo
I'm
mask.
so sorry, Nikki.
And
I'm so
anyway, maybe I
sorry.
shouldn't drink like orange juice and vodka and schnapps during
Schnaps.
D&D. Anyway, yes,
Woo!
they have been having many conversations. Um,
Verbal, physical, intimate?
right now, probably just verbal. The lady's still
To the
trying to figure her out.
Yeah, there has been much sex, apparently. And that is
She's
just a fact of aristocratic life.
See, now, Nikki, that's. I was going to make a joke that they've probably fucked at least once, but
I will leave it to y'all if you would like to establish some sort of PvP relationship.
PvP!
Player versus player. What they're versing each other over? That's up to
oh
them.
my god.
That's a really good way of putting it. Thank you so much.
I try my best.
Thank you so much for
anyway,
putting it that
anyway,
way.
All
um,
right. I think
yeah,
that
I'll
is
leave. I'll
about
leave that to you, Nikki.
I consider
Japanese
this.
or
I'll get back to you.
what?
Incredible.
Oh jeez. Oh god. Okay, anyway, back to D&D, which does not involve duo. Um you have what the Okay. You have
What
all
is happening to you?
sorry, ADHD for
Stop
one
it.
thing.
Yeah.
No. Ray has been getting it. Ray Fox.
Ray Fox.
Sorry, I am all over the place.
Ray
Okay.
We've lost the tune,
Fox.
brothers.
Oh, Miss Lexi.
Actually, you know what? Let's probably go ahead and start the break. Yeah, I need some water, and I apparently need to reset my fucking brain.
Do we have a
Um,
stopping point before we go on break? What's our funny little commentary? So, okay, the confirmation. Have Yume and Lady have not been fucking, but they have had conversations?
they've been chatting.
Okay, they've been
They've
They've been
chatting.
chatting. They're
Ray
doing
has
that
been
thing that young people
They've been
fucking.
do.
chatting. I had to
Ray has
check
been
and make sure I wasn't on mute anymore.
Ray
Yeah.
Again.
fucks.
Ray has been fucking. Ray has inserted himself into a marriage. Gerard has been nervous. Gerard has also not told anyone that he fucking hates Philippe. Um, Good on him. Him and Lady have been babysitting Philippe. Because you have to do that with grown men sometimes. Giuseppe, we'll figure out what Giuseppe's doing later, and I think that covers everyone, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, hold on. Lady,
Huh?
I remember you DM'd me about Philippe. Was Did you want to do anything about that during the time skip?
No. That's a long play.
Gotcha, I see. Okay. Well,
Interesting.
in that case, we will start the break. It is 8:44. Let's aim to be back at 9 o'clock. Everyone take the time to eat,
That is
drink,
Be
piss,
merry.
whatever you need to
be
do.
merry.
Be merry. Eat,
That
drink,
is
piss, be merry.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our listeners in other time zones.
Yes, thank you. We'll be back after this break. Hello, apologies for the delay. We were having a few technical difficulties. One of them was my internet shitting itself. But we are back. When we last left off during playtime, we were getting ready to enter the province of Nordland, otherwise known as the. Hold on, let me make sure I pronounced this fucking right. Severnia Provincia. The equivalent of our IRL Baltic states. This is a land of deep oceans, mists, forests. Peasant farms exist side by side with great noble mansions from which said nobles lord over the peasants with absolute iron authority. In some ways, the serfdom here has been compared less to serfdom and more like chattel slavery.
Hmm.
You're entering a very unhappy place. And
Oh
what is
no.
ironic
Compared to the
about
happy
that,
place we were in.
at least in the place you were in, serfdom wasn't as entrenched, if at
Yeah, I was
all.
about to say, oh no, it's oh no, Gunter, you're making it worse.
Oh, I told you, Sarah. Kid gloves aren't staying on all the time.
It's fine. I'm here for the
Kid,
ride. Continue.
woo. I lost my train of thought. Shit.
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
No, you're fine. Yes, I remember.
How
What
could
is
you?
ironic about this bleak and dreary setting is that there are hardly any vampires here.
Interesting
This
choice
is
for the
this is
vampire.
a land where aside from a few military officers and the provincial governor, most of the day-to-day administration is handled by the local human nobility,
Hmm.
who, in exchange for fealty and service to the Tsardom, demanded the guarantee of their rights and privileges, which included the right to own other human beings.
Oh no, these people suck.
They really do. And
I
you're
was about to
going
say, I
to.
was really hoping you weren't trying to you weren't going to convince me that these people didn't suck because they suck.
There are some among them who want the system to change, but that is some. A very small sum. Um, to be blunt about it, this noble class, both in game and IRL, hold very many similarities to the planter class of the antebellum South.
Oh no, Gunter!
I
Gunter!
went I went there, and
Gunter,
I
you
made
went
that
there. Oh
comparison
god, oh
because it's a
god.
correct
Now we
one, and
fucking done it.
it's a correct one, and anyone who
No,
disagrees, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anyone who might be watching who has the urge to disagree.
I
They
was about
can
to say, I was like,
argue
no,
with
this place is
a
bad.
if they want to disagree, they can argue with a graduate student.
Yeah, no, it's the bad place now. It's a bad place. Don't worry,
All right.
nobody is sane will disagree with you.
So
Um,
you have left the city of Mazov behind, exchanging your sumptuous royal suites for the life of an army on the march, basically. You are a you are a you are a decent distance from the border. While Kutuzov and Phillipe do want to prepare the army to march in, they don't want it to be right on the border where it might be a little obvious what their plan is. So you are stopped in what would be modern day Lithuania, which fell within the viceroyalty and thus stayed in Philippe's control, and are in Bolkonsky's command tent, where he is detailing to you the nature of your mission. To spare you roleplay, he essentially tells you that they will be waiting for your dispatches and information gathering, and will invade when you indicate to them that it is the right time. To facilitate communications between him and you, he summons forward a soldier holding a messenger hawk in his hands, who tearfully gives his beloved Hawkie to you, and does ask that you bring him back alive.
Hockey! Oh
His
no! Oh no, we've been entrusted with a dear friend.
Ray
Oh,
is immediately going to take this hawk and put it on his shoulder. Like
yeah, please,
immediately transfer
Ray.
it to him.
Please
This
give
is
it to
his
Ray,
buddy
please.
now.
For
Oh
those of you
god.
who are cultured, that was an Avatar reference. Anyway,
It's like hockey.
Hawkie. Yes,
Hockey!
when
I
you
love
have
him. We have a new friend.
new friend, Ray, as a druid, you can't talk to Hawkie. Hawkie does tell you that he's excited to go on an adventure, and he hopes you'll let him kill a bunch of mice.
He
The
can kill
scream.
as many mice as he wants.
In the
Sorry, Lexi, I do love that every DM that you deal with just has to hand you a pet.
Yeah, pretty
that's how
much.
it be.
It's a good
All
choice.
right,
I hope this one gets a sweater.
It's happened twice.
a sweater knitted from the
If I had a nickel for
families
every
of
time
mice he
this
kills.
happened, I'd have two
Yes.
nickels, which isn't weird, but it's happened twice.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
That's it.
All right.
Twice.
Bolkonski says for your benefit that there are two areas you should focus attention on. The port city known as Riga, which serves as one of the main trading ports for the larger Tsardom of Rus on this sea, and as the provincial capital of Nordland.
Oh boy,
He
it's
tells
Riga.
you that, yep, among being a hub of commerce, it is where the Landtag meets the Diet, which the nobles of this area use to conduct their affairs. And it is also where you will be able to find any goods, services that you might require, people. A good place to focus your attentions on. Other than that, he does give you a list of estates. These are the residences of nobles that were known to hold reformist inclinations. And if you want to start a fifth column to help your invasion of this area, you might want to reach out to them to see if they're willing to offer support. But other than that, you're going in blind. You
Oh
don't know.
boy.
The thing is, they don't know what the situation in Nordland is in terms of like how they're handling the revolt, or not the
Yeah.
revolt, the civil war. They it issued a declaration of independence from the Tsardom, which was signed by most members of the Landtag. But aside from that, you have no idea what's going on. People have been focused on other things. While this is an important area to hold for the port, no one has the time or people to actually pay attention to it aside from you. So you get to be the first ones in.
I was about to say, so we're the people that are going to be kind of just ground zero, seeing the lay of the land. Like we're going in completely blind.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Before you go, he gives you one last warning. There are several elite regiments raised by the Germanian nobility here, built on Brandenburger lines. Before the Civil War, they were considered some of the best military units in the entire empire. So be wary of those.
I would love to be. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions before you start your journey?
I think actually I think actually I'm good. I might have more for you while we're on the ground if that's okay, but I generally am not super good at developing any kind of gameplay questions until I start interacting a little more. So,
Yeah, of course. I will answer what I can based on what you would be able to know.
okay.
Anyone
Cool.
else?
Probably should have questions, but alas, she is too stupid to. And she's
Damn.
fixing to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like there wouldn't be a lot of information available to us anyway, so
All right.
you
With
may down to clown.
all right. Before you depart,
Ray has a hawk.
Bolkonski.
He has no thoughts in his head right now.
No thoughts, only Hawk.
No thoughts, only hawk. Okay, yeah. So the messenger hawk is going to be like our only means of communication with like this
That
original
is
group,
the
right?
only way for you to contact with Bolkonski
Oh
if
man,
something goes wrong.
hockey. And then, okay, what mechanic are you using to determine how long it will take for hockey to go places?
Um, it will take 2 in-game days for a complete rotation. So 1 in-game day for Hockey to reach Bolkonski, and from there 1 in-game day for Hockey to reach you.
Okay, good to know.
Before you leave, he does give you a hefty sack of cash.
Oh, good money.
Um, he says this is to help grease any wheels to garner support or support your operations.
You will gladly take that from him.
Um, yeah.
Okay, so we have money.
I was
We have a
I
messaging
was
system.
initially going to not give this to you, but then I realized it doesn't make sense for you to just go in completely unsupported and be like, and them to be like, yeah, try and start a revolt here to help us out without giving you
I was about to
something
say,
to try and help.
Gunter, that's so cute how you talk about us making Monty Python ass characters, and then you almost didn't give us realistic provisions, motherfucker.
Yeah. I thought of it in the end though, didn't I?
Good work.
All right. So with
Proud of
that,
you.
you are off. You depart from the army, which is 20,000 strong. Its campfires slowly fade into the gloom. To help the discreet nature of your entry, you are proceeding towards Nordland overnight. From where
Mhm.
you are, you will, if you proceed at your current pace, you will reach the border by, I would say, roughly around early morning, like 3 a.m.
All right.
Um, this
Now
is not
Yume
to
doesn't
start a
And
have
are
dark vision.
we okay? Also, a good question, and you are free to slap me upside the head if the only reason I don't know this is because I missed something. Are we just traveling by ourselves, or is there some kind of contingent with us?
You are by yourselves.
Okay, that is
They
fine. And
want
then
you
what
guys
means
to be
travel?
as inconspicuous as possible.
Okay, that is fine. Good to know. And then what means of travel have we been given? Are we going by are there trains? Are trains a thing yet? I'm
Uh,
stupid. I have a history degree, but I don't fucking know
uh,
this for some reason.
no, since it is the Napoleonic period, it is,
Yeah.
imagine
No.
the 18th century. Essentially, most travel is done by foot, horse,
Yeah.
uh,
You don't got trains yet,
sail if you're
especially
on
not
the
in a rural
sea.
area
Of
anyway.
course.
Yeah.
Buggy.
Haunts.
Uh,
Okay, so were we given any form of transportation or are we just walking?
you were given a carriage,
I
or
don't imagine it's a fancy carriage because we still want to
it's
be
not a,
inconspicuous.
yeah, it's nothing really ostentatious. It's comfortable.
Okay,
Holds you and all your provisions quite comfortably. It's not cramped or anything, but
great. Who is
it
driving?
is. Would you like to decide who is driving the carriage?
I think knowing who is driving the carriage is really, really important.
I
Can
think the obvious answer is Gerard.
You're assuming Gerard knows how to drive a carriage?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. He does. Okay.
How about this? How about Ray drives?
I think Ray and Gerard are taking turns because it is actually kind of exhausting work.
Can lady also take a turn?
No.
No.
Oh.
Roll
If-
initiative for carriage. That initiative roll fucking
there is a
failed.
contingency.
No,
If-
you may grab
If Gerard or Ray are incapacitated, that is the only reason for Lady to take the carriage.
I agree with that.
You may grabs Lady by the dress and pushes her back down into her seat like, no.
No, she can't drive. Okay, so
I can
the
drive.
two
I can steer a
No.
horse.
no
No.
the two
I want
the
to
two
drive.
No.
we have two Bishonen
Ray-
driving a carriage.
Ray has dark vision, so we're gonna let him drive at nights. How about that?
Yeah.
Lady
you
also
may,
has night vision.
Fucking elves.
Yume does
Hold on.
not have dark vision.
Yume, aren't you a vampire? I'm fairly certain vampires have night vision.
Yeah,
Do
she's a
they have
vampire
dark
now.
vision?
Yeah,
Dark
vampires are
vision.
fucking
Do I have
nocturnal
dark
creatures.
vision?
Yes,
I was
you have
about
dark
to
vision now.
say, let me make sure, but like, it would not
they
make
have
sense
dark
for you
vision?
not to.
It would not make sense for vampires not to have
Legendary
dark vision.
resistance, regeneration.
I meant to ask you, like, if my vampirism gives me, like, any new abilities or anything, but
You do have dark vision up to 120 feet and a passive perception of 17.
Oh shit. That's a lot. Congrats on being a vampire.
So, I will send you this link later. You do have some new stats. They're not relevant quite yet, but you will need to make a
Sick.
few changes.
If I can.
Yeah. So yeah, you and I will probably need to sit down and iron out how that leveling up will work. For now, you are
Yeah.
level 5 with the other appropriate stuff. That's all that matters. We're not going to be in
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah, like, the way I'm doing my character sheet, I'm probably just gonna have to put anything else in my notes section, so.
Yeah. All right. But back to the narration. It is Gerard and Ray taking shifts so that one or the other can nap while the other drives. I will say at the moment it is Gerard driving the carriage. He has just started his turn.
Okay.
You know that at some point recently you passed into Nordland. Nothing seems to have changed yet, but by your reckoning, you are within the country. So far, it has been a very quiet drive. You've not seen a soul on the roads, which makes sense since it is 3 a.m. You have heard very blood chilling noises through the night.
Uh-huh.
As you all know,
Does Yume's blood get chilled?
she likes her
Question,
blood
actually, I
chilled
want to spend some time in this space.
on ice. Wait, what?
I want to
No,
spend
like-
some time in this space. Does
No,
it
I mean,
coagulate
I
if
think
she
I
gets
think
too
we're talking
cold?
about the blood that's, like, inside her.
Yeah. Does it coagulate if it gets too cold?
I don't know.
Gerard, you're a medical professional.
I'm a history
Gosh.
major. What the fuck do you want?
Gosh, Gunter, you didn't think about this before putting vampires in your campaign?
No,
Gerard
because
kind of
that's fucking
coughs.
boring.
Gerard kind of coughs and he's like, it isn't an entirely biological process. My theory is it's some kind of dark, horrific magic. She probably shouldn't think about it that much.
You may just kind of stares at him like, gee, thanks.
You're the one who became a vampire and didn't ask the questions.
That is true. Anyway, I will not force this onto you, but there are strange creatures about wandering the night, attacking lone travelers. Since you are on a carriage and moving decently fast, you are able to avoid any encounters, but you do hear various sounds, and at one point, not Ray Gerard, you do hear someone scream, and it sounds like they are being torn into.
I was gonna ask, like you're mentioning sounds. What kind of sounds?
Uh,
Are we about to
unholy
play with
shrieks.
werewolves?
Great,
Oh, you
unholy
wish these were
shrieks.
werewolves.
Oh.
These
Oh.
are absolutely blood-curdling. Has anyone ever played Halo here?
I have not, but
Mm,
I might know enough
no.
about Halo to know what you're talking about.
You know what the flood sounds like?
No, I don't. Is
Ha,
this like a
look up.
Tyranid kind of situation?
No, but that
Damn
is
it.
the
I know what those
um.
are.
I'm well here actually. You know the. Do you have a rough imagination of what sound the Tyranids make, Sarah?
Yeah, I do.
It's something
And
like
that's
that.
not good.
Yeah.
Think like if
Um.
insects were large enough to roar at you,
Eh.
it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad
Um.
sound.
You
Okay, so
hear
we can
that
hear that
several.
and we can hear someone being torn apart.
Yeah.
How far is that noise from us?
Decently far. It has been carried on the wind.
And what direction is the wind coming from?
From the west.
And which direction are we heading in?
You are heading roughly north. I'm not going to make you do combat tonight because I don't have a roll 20 set up. Imagining a
Wonderful.
cicada that is large and angry.
Yeah, I was about to say, imagine a cicada that's large and angry and has a mouthful of fangs. And also it wants to like eat your planet. It's
Yeah.
very bad. And yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
He's going to gently whip the horse to go a bit faster. And
you do in the distance catch the gleam of something, but it is far enough that you don't see anything else.
that means we keep moving, boys. We
Yep.
move.
Doesn't help you that it's a new moon tonight.
Why is it so fucking dark?
Um, you continue on your otherwise quiet, unsettling travels.
Okay.
Until
Can I also
eventually
ask
you
you a
see.
question?
Hmm.
Just like a world building question. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
How normal is this kind of experience in this world? Is this like the
Uh,
same experience of like daily walking outside, or is this the experience of walking through a very scary neighborhood?
this sort of thing is unheard of. Well,
Okay.
actually,
I was about
hmm.
to say, so we've never experienced
Roll.
this before?
You and your living lives have never experienced this before. You could make
Mm.
a roll to see if you know any about any events like this, but in living memory, general living memory, this sort of thing is not this sort of thing is not common.
Okay. So this is an experience that is like not up to par. Like,
No, this is a sign of the troubled times.
can I roll something for that? What would I need to
Uh,
roll for that? I'm interested.
I will say you could roll history,
Okay.
religion, arcana would also be a valid roll,
Let me see what my highest modifier is.
and that goes for
Um,
anyone else as well. You all do hear these sounds.
I have a plus
Real
5
quick.
in history.
History. We're rolling
I
history.
I would like to roll history for
Uh,
me because I
you
have a
can
plus
roll
5.
you can roll history, religion, or arcana if you want to know more about what you are hearing.
Excellent.
Okay,
Because
bad news.
I dropped at the beginning that strange creatures roamed the roads, attacking lone travelers.
Hey, can she roll survival instead?
No.
Damn.
Okay, let me see. I rolled
Ray
history, but I
gets an
got an
18.
okay.
Ray gets an 18. What roll did you make?
Yeah.
Was it
Uh,
history, religion?
well, my modifier is the same for Arcana, religion, and history. All have the same modifier.
What the
Um,
fuck?
He's smart. He's so
yeah.
educated.
So
All right. So
it could be any one of them.
I will say,
Lady rolled a 15 for
I
history because she got a +1
okay,
modifier with her level up.
nice. Mr. Ray, you do need to pick what kind of role it is. I will let you choose.
Wait, what are we rolling for?
To
Let's
if you
do
sorry, go ahead.
religion.
Religion. Okay. Lady rolled history, and you got 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ray got an 18. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. We are
Gerard got a natural 1, so I'm just gonna fuck off.
Gerard's scared the fuck out of his mind. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, he's just trying to drive, man. This is like
Yeah.
being on I-75.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. What are we rolling?
There are unholy shrieks carried on the wind in the night. You have heard a person being torn into by what sounds like horrible
Yeah,
ravenous
yeah.
beasts.
Yes,
Um,
I was here for that part.
yes. So I have allowed everyone to make a roll. You may choose from either history, religion, or arcana for your modifier.
History,
Ray,
religion, or arcana.
Ray has a
All right. Well,
15.
no
Has
matter
a
what,
15.
here's the thing. No matter what, it's a +0. So,
You can choose any one. It doesn't matter. Just so long as
and
you
it
choose
doesn't
one.
matter anyway. As I
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway because I got a nat 1.
F. All right. So Lady chose history. Lady, from your history roll, you read in a book at one point when you were bored. It was sometime in your
Enter,
fifth
she can't
marriage.
read.
She listened
You
to
heard
someone read a book to her.
you listened to someone read a book. Thank you for that save, Sarah. You were
Always.
bored
It
at
was
some time
Gerard.
during your
Gerard
fifth
read her a book.
marriage. No. This was a long time ago.
Well,
It was during
I
your
mean,
fifth
that would still
marriage. You
work.
had gone to a coffee shop to escape your dreadful spouse for a moment, and someone was reading aloud from a history of Rus. And one of the chapters was talking about Rusian mythology. And it described a tale known as the Black Knight.
Uh-huh.
Essentially, it involved narratives similar to which described things similar to what you are hearing now. Um, but it was also talking about it in the context of a myth. So you don't know how much of it is reliable, but what you are hearing does remind you of what the story told. Ray, with your 18 in religion, you went to a during your 3-month time skip actually. You got curious one time and went to Verge to see what the service was like. And one of these sermons they were giving was on the dangers of incurring the wrath of the gods. And part of that involved the abandonment of their not the retraction of their protections from unholy terrors. And the pastor was mostly giving you this in the context of making sure to avoid sin and being a pious and good citizen. But he did describe horrible hell creatures that would stalk the night and were sent and were evidence of the god's displeasure at the world and came from a place called simply the pit, which is where the vile go, both human and vampire, and anyone else. if they sin in life. And in these pits, he describes various tortures that you didn't really give a shit about. This is just a sermon from a priest. But one thing that you do remember which stands out is these tortures would transform the damned into these hell creatures. And that if man were to ever stray from the pious path, the damned would be once again unleashed on the world.
How interesting. What the fuck?
You don't know if it's just coincidence, but there you go.
Wow, I love the little. It could be a little coinky dink though.
Ah,
Yeah, like this could be a creature literally from hell, or it could just be a coincidence. Who the fuck knows? Teehee.
Gross.
I will say, um, the sermon was from a verse of the Bible.
Oh fuck the Bible. What book?
Um, the Black
Was
Knight.
it like Vlad 316 or what?
The Black Knight.
Come
Uh,
on, man. Remember how the Bible works? Come on, give me a book. Give me a
what's
book in the
the
Bible.
that is the
Give me a
name
book.
of the book, The Black Knight.
Come
It
on. What about
wh-
Volms or
what is
Chapter and verse.
chapter and verse?
Chapter and verse.
The Book of the Black Knight, verse 3, chapter 6, verse 17.
oh dear God.
He's having a bad time. He's having to remember how the Bible works.
Here's the thing, I don't remember how the Bible works, and I'm not going to.
Let me do it. Let me name something. I love naming things, Gunter. You should let me name
Nope.
things.
Nope.
Come on! I just want to name it.
I will just say it is the equivalent to Revelations. I
Okay, great.
think I think
I'm
that's the
trying
Oh,
to
one that
the
think of
mark
talks
of the
funny
about
Black
vampire puns.
Beast.
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
one
yeah.
that talks about the apocalypse, isn't it?
Of
Yes,
course it
it
is.
is.
Yeah, that's Revelations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Revelations.
that's
Yeah, it's
what the sermon
Revelations.
was based on. I refuse that petition once again. Um so yeah, you have that going on. You continue driving.
Revelations.
Revelations, vampire revelations.
You do know from general talk that the beasts only seem to attack lone travelers walking the roads at night.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not alone. We have the power of friendship. It protects us.
Yeah, you've not heard any stories of them attacking people in their homes yet,
Great.
but yeah.
Uh,
Still unsettling, makes travel difficult,
yeah,
and
I can
once again,
imagine.
another sign of the troubled times.
Phew.
Uh,
How far are we from our destination?
uh, you are about 3 days' ride from Riga at your current
Okay.
pace. You know, Gerard, from a map of the area that there is a village up ahead with an inn,
Okay.
so you could stop there for the night. You
Okay.
do you begin seeing a light reflecting off the sky, which to you indicates that you are getting closer. Expecting to be able to rest, you pick up the pace a little bit, anticipating a warm bed. However, when you arrive at the village, you see that the light is not from any sconces or
Oh no, it's gonna
just the
be on
average life of a
fire.
city. Not just on fire, it is burned to the ground completely.
Oh man, we're not gonna be able to stop for Bojangles, guys.
There is no Bojangles.
Fuck.
Um,
Hey,
the
this
only
is
inn,
terrifying.
For lack of
um,
Bojangles.
Gerard, you notice several things immediately that indicate to you this was not a attack by the creatures you might have heard.
Mm-hmm.
A military unit did this. One of the chief indicators of that is at the very front of the village where the gate used to be, a body was left impaled. All the blood from it drained dry of all of its blood. I say it because you can't tell if it was man or woman from the uh things done to it.
This is an
Hey,
incredibly desiccated corpse, motherfucker.
hey,
Yep.
I'd just like to note Yume is freaking the fuck out right now.
Yeah. Welcome to the horror part of the campaign. Um
Oh, there's
Oh,
more than one reason why she's freaking out right now.
the horrors are indescribable, but we must continue to
yeah.
slay. Um,
So there is one other thing next to it. It is impaled on a stake.
okay,
Next to this is planted a flag. It is
okay,
black. There is only one symbol upon it.
mm-hmm,
A skull with crossbones. The skull cast to the side as if not looking directly at you, but at something slightly past you. Missing its lower jaw. And under this symbol, in flowing Gothic script, thus to all rebels.
deeply fascinating. Hey, I was gonna make like a vampires joke, but I feel like it's a bad time, and also Alina isn't here to appreciate it, which depresses me
Yeah.
greatly.
Make it. Make
Um,
the joke. Make the
No,
joke.
that's it. I was just gonna be like, vampires, and that was the joke. And the joke's done. Congratulations,
Pirates.
vampires.
Virates.
Vampires. Let me see. So, is
Uh,
there
Ger-
anything else to investigate about that flag, or is it just kind of as it is?
Gerard, roll history since you are the one looking at it.
I would love to, because I have a +5 in that. I'm going to be so honest with my rolls. Um, and I'm not saying that sarcastically. I'm having to Google this again. Please be good. 15 +5.
20. Um, During your time in the military,
Okay.
you when the Russians were helping to fight the revolutionary armies of Valois, there were a few units that everyone knew about.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was from Nordland.
Okay.
They were called the Death's Head Hussars,
Mm-hmm.
known for their black uniforms and upon their bearskin caps, the same skull and crossbones that you see now.
Oh no, they're those nasty motherfuckers.
Sewn
Great.
on to the bear cap, it was made of iron. They
Okay.
were known for no quarter, absolutely ferocious charges, and they were they were Germanian human nobility commanded by vampire officers.
Very interesting. Um, Gerard
Um,
kind of takes this in, and his jaw is a little tight, but he kind of sighs and rubs a hand over his face, and he says, "There's nothing for us here. We need to keep moving."
you depart from the village, the light slowly fading as you gather more distance. Occasionally, you hear more unholy shrieks, but mixed in with a few, the sound. It's the same animal making the shriek, but it sounds as if it's crying in pain, as if it tried to attack someone and paid dearly for it.
Hmm.
Eventually, the sun rises. The shrieks recede, and through. You are traveling down a dirt road. There are fields on either side of you, and you can see isolated thickets of trees on either side, but otherwise quiet.
Great. Um,
You eventually see another village. This one not
mhm.
burned,
Okay.
and it isn't as big as the last one, but it looks like it has a tavern, if nothing else, for you to relax in.
Okay. Relax, quote. I feel like we all probably need a meal. I imagine we've all been kind of taking shift naps, since there is actually somewhere to rest if we're in a carriage. What little sleep you may get, because I imagine it's not much. Um, Honestly, he's not excited to go in a place, but Gerard is willing. I don't know about the rest of the party.
Lady is
Would
willing to get out the carriage. She actually doesn't like traveling by
Um,
carriage a whole lot.
on the subject of meals, would a tavern have blood?
uh, all taverns in the lands of Rus do need to keep at least some blood on stock for any traveling nobles who might be passing through.
Oh, excellent.
That is actually an ordinance from the Tsar.
Oh,
And it has not
excellent.
been long enough for people to disregard that, either because
Um,
they haven't had a chance to decide what to do with it, or because those who tried paid it dearly.
Also, to be
yeah,
completely blunt, it's missing out on good money. So
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was about to
You may
say,
you still
why
have
would you
to
throw out
pay.
why would you throw out what rich people pay for?
what
Mhm.
in that having said that, you may does get out, but she does keep her hood up so nobody really sees her eyes.
Great, cool.
Okay. I'm assuming you all make your way into the tavern then.
Yeet.
Yeah.
All right. You do notice, uh, at the area where horses are kept, about five. I want to say about seven or so, all garbed in military accoutrement, and you see the death's head symbol on their saddles.
Hmm. Okay. Great.
But you're not rebels. You have nothing to
We're
fear
not
from the
rebels.
Tsar's troops.
No, we don't. We're just in a bar with some scary guys, and in a D&D campaign, that's never good.
All right. You enter the tavern. Uh, it's early in the morning, so not exactly busy. There's a couple of people in getting their breakfast. Um, there's the barkeep himself, of course, a few waiters, waitresses. Off to the side, you see the hussars in military uniform. They're just eating their meals calmly, not making a fuss, just keeping to themselves. Three in particular stand out to you.
Okay.
One of them, well, all three of them have the red eyes of vampires. One of them is blonde, a woman actually, quite stunning.
Pretty lady.
She drinking her cup of blood with a relish that even for vampires is uncommon. As if every sip is just ecstasy.
Okay.
And if you were to describe the way she is treating the blood, it is like an addict with their drug.
Great. Good to know. Mm.
The other two, And Miss Sarah, you're welcome.
Why are you doing
The
this to me?
first
What's happening?
the first is a woman, hair cut short. You can see muscles under her uniform. She is drinking her blood more calmly, just taking her meal. Eyes red, like the officer of the unit. Hair white.
That's my bitch! That's the one I made!
And next to her, a man also with red eyes, hair, and a rat tail. Blue like the ocean.
Yeah.
How'd he get hair dye here? That's
Magic.
a weird little man.
He's noble. He can afford to turn it blue.
Of course he can. I'm so proud of him. Not really.
He
But
is drinking his with relish, but not to the extent as the first woman. He's just enjoying good food.
man, what an interesting little gang of people who I definitely don't
They
recognize at all.
they all turn. All the hussars turn at the sight of you walking in. Um, but at the moment, you just appear to be another group of travelers. So they quickly return to their own meals. But you would notice, if you paid attention, that every now and then their gazes do flick to you along with everyone else in the bar.
It's not
And
alarming. That's just head on a swivel.
I'm not going to make you roll insight because you'd have to be pretty fucking dense to miss. The room's fucking tense because everyone knows what those hussars were probably doing last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Um, roll insight actually.
Oh, no, he's making us roll inside anyway. Okay, give me a sec.
This
Figure out what
one,
my
this
insight
one is
was.
something that you could miss. This is something in
Oh,
particular.
no.
Ray got
Okay,
it.
well, congrats. I got
Sorry,
a
Lady got a
1.
12.
lady got a 12.
Gerard has a 1. He's so fucking
Mm-hmm.
nervous. He's missing shit again.
Yume got a 9.
Okay, what did Ray get?
Ray got a 7.
Okay, that's funny that lady got the highest roll.
8.
L-
Good for
l- lady, of the three that I paid particular attention to, you see in the blonde someone who you think would probably be a very good fight, but she would be enjoying it for the wrong reasons. The other two, they vaguely remind you of some of the officers you met at balls back in Valois. Dedicated to their tasks and duties, and seeing it as nothing more than a job, something which they are obligated to fulfill.
Hmm.
Uh, do you all take a seat? Order food?
Yeah,
Um,
what kind of
yeah, I
drinks
was
they
about to say,
got?
I do think we all stop for a I think we're all planning to eat, those of us that eat, or have some blood, those of us that have blood. Most of us have blood, but you know what I mean, have blood.
Yeah, Yume's gonna follow the group.
Yeah.
All
Um,
right.
Gerard, can I say that Gerard does try to take like what I refer to as a John Wayne seat?
Oh my god. Yes.
No, back to the wall, you can see what's going on. It's an important
Um,
tactical position. It's
yeah,
the
I'm
So she
dad
assuming
sits
you
seat.
next
guys
to him.
take a table where you can see everything.
Yeah.
All right. Um, a barmaid does come to take your orders. When she gets to Yume and sees that she is a vampire, she does make a flustered curtsy of, "Milady, your blood will be here shortly," before getting everyone else's orders. Excuse me. And as she leaves, you notice the three other vampires with the hussars perked up at the sound of that.
Hmm, okay.
They look over for a second, You hear one of them say, Vonifistria, should we go chat with them? It's so hard to find good society here.
It feels fucked up not to be able to voice her. You can't do this to me.
You may kind of like look down at the table and whispers like just loud enough for the group to hear, like, I shouldn't have come in here.
You hear the first voice is seems normal enough. It was from the blonde woman
Oh no.
who gives the bad vibe.
Oh yeah, the blonde
Uh
woman with the bad vibes.
the other woman, referred to as Vonifistria, cocks her head for a second. We could, ma'am, but we are on a timetable, if you recall. The colonel does want us to catch up with the rest of the unit. The rebels won't hunt themselves. There is a put upon sigh, as usual, ruining my fun, Vonifistria. But I guess that's why the colonel put you with me in the first place. And with that, they go back to their meals.
I don't like the implication that the crazy one's in charge. That's a bad sign. Oh
Really bad sign.
You are all brought your meals. You may, and something that you are patently unused to. The blood is brought to you in a goblet on a silver tray.
no. Oh, this is so auspicious.
Everything else seems to be like ceramic or earthenware. This is the only piece of sterling silver the tavern has. If you
Oh.
were to look, you would see on it, it is specially manufactured and sent out from the capital to all such restaurants or taverns, that they are to serve this to any nobles who come through bearing the mark of vampirism. It is another reminder of the vampire's authority over the living. The barkeep, along with the barmaid, both place the tray before you, and with a bow and curtsy respectfully, beg you to enjoy their fare. And with that, they leave you to it.
Oh boy.
Yume's just kind of staring at it uncomfortably now.
Now you're starting to grasp some of the other implications of your vampirism, aren't you?
A little bit.
Gerard just kind of raises his eyebrows lightly and goes back to his food.
All right. Do any of you want to do anything while you're taking your meals? Survey the other guests.
You put my
Uh,
OC in here, but I'm scared to fight her because she's scary. I've never been forced to interact with her on the other end, and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot.
now I have the wheels, Sarah, and you have no
You
idea what I'm
don't,
going to do with it.
don't do anything I wouldn't do, which
I
doesn't say a lot.
Lady's
I
going.
wonder.
Lady's very much looking after the. They left, right? I'm not just like making that up.
Who
Huh?
They're
left?
gone. Yeah, the three of them.
No.
No, they're still
They and
there.
they're still eating. You
They
came in the
just
middle of
didn't
their
come
meal.
over to they just didn't come over to bother us. Like
The
Yume attracted their attention, but the Olwen who is not Olwen has kind of convinced the crazier one, to not bug us. But she wanted to come and talk to Yume.
Mm.
Ku wanted to come and talk to Yume.
No, it was
oh
the
no,
crazy one.
it was the blonde.
Yeah, no, he
Oh.
didn't give a shit. He hasn't even spoken. The Ku clone has not spoken.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we will
For
now
some
refer to
reason, I
him as
thought it
the
was
Ku
Ku.
clone.
Oh,
No,
we.
that was the
Yeah.
crazy blonde.
Okay.
Honestly, if she's a crazy blonde, if she's a crazy woman that Gunter made, I like trust her less, even more than I would a normal crazy woman.
You do notice the blue-haired man and Vonifistria
God fucking shit.
occasionally sipping from each other's glasses as if they're trading notes on the blood.
They're having discussions.
They're
They're
having
having
discussions.
discourse.
They're doing couple things.
They're doing couple things.
You know,
Hoes.
sharing blood, comparing the taste, like you do.
Like you
Like
do.
you do.
I I am I wish Giuseppe was here.
I do wish Giuseppe was here.
It's so funny that the session is happening when he's not here.
I was about to say,
A
we all
little
stop and be
funny,
like,
yeah.
man, I wish Giuseppe was here.
Um,
I
The
did
whole
promise
table
no
stopped.
combat,
Just
The whole
and
yeah,
that will remain the case.
yeah. I mean,
did
sorry,
we
I
like
think
leave a note for Giuseppe to tell him where we're going?
Yes.
Yeah, he
I
did. He knows.
um
Um,
sorry. Yeah, I think Yume's just kind of like watching these three from under her hood.
Occasionally, you make eye contact with each of them because they feel you watching. The other two, they don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
The blonde woman in charge notices
Uh-oh.
your watching eyes, and after a moment of appraisal, grins at you in a way that reminds you of a feral dog.
Oh God.
I don't like this woman, Gunter.
She, she looks away and pretends to have been talking to Lady.
I don't like.
Confused.
I wish I could fuck her
Uh,
kind of though. I'm not gonna lie.
I knew it! Got him.
Sorry,
Just got him.
I can't. You can't give me a crazy woman and expect me not to be like, ooh, sexy. I wish I was playing a hornier character. I wish I was playing a hornier character.
All right.
I mean,
After a undetermined
Ray's
amount of time,
Ray's always
yes,
down.
Oh
Ray is
no.
always down. Oh God. Um, the Hussars put away their. They seem to have finished their food and stand up. At that time, at the time they do, a man who looks like a peasant walks in. Seems tired. He looks like he's been through shit. Pointedly, he seemed covered in soot.
Hmm. Oh no.
Uh,
Good.
he stops as soon as he sees the Hussars. And the Hussars have seen him.
Oh no.
The feral grin is back.
Oh no.
Oh, Vonifistria,
Oh no.
we missed one. Vonifistria looks between the woman and the peasant. So we did, ma'am. Before the peasant can really do anything, Vonifistria has him by the scruff. Come with me. And she takes him out the front door.
Yume's out of her seat already.
Oh god. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to do this. Uh, Gerard is reluctantly following because he can't let her do this by herself.
Uh, Before you can do anything,
Oh
the
no.
blonde skips out the front door.
Shit.
I don't like
And
her.
the other five, including the man with blue hair, notice you standing up and are barring the door. The blue haired man He also has a grin, but it's not as bloodthirsty. More like, you want to start a fight?
Oh no, he's
That
rowdy.
that kind of grin. Um, Hand on his saber. Land tag business? Please go
Yume
back to
is
your meals.
Yume is shaking, and you can't really tell if this is out of fear or pure rage, but she is visibly shaking. Get out of my way, sir.
Accent. Hmm. Where have I heard that one before? He shrugs nonchalantly. I don't fucking remember. You seem to have spunk. But, word of advice. And he looks dead serious. You may think you're doing the right thing, and you probably are. But for the sake of you and your friends, sit back down, miss.
You know I can't do that.
He snorts. A noble that cares, that's a new one. Tell you what, let me go talk with the lieutenant. You wait right here. He saunters out. You hear the other four hussars are still barring the door, but it doesn't seem like anything in his words was an order for them to consider you hostile. They're just making sure the way is blocked. You hear a discussion outside. A very high pitched, "Oh, really?"
Oh
Before
no.
finally the blonde woman walks back in. Grin and gaze on Yume exclusively.
Oh no.
He leans right in your face. Oh, you're a new one, aren't you? Oh my, a little puppy. You haven't even probably had your first snack, have you? Hmm.
Yume doesn't answer that.
She taps her chin. She wasn't expecting you to.
Oh no, she's monologuing.
I'm under orders to kill any would-be rebels who defy the authority of the Landtag, the gods, and His Imperial Majesty.
You consider one man a threat?
It's not the one. It's when the one turns into the five, and then the five turns into. She is moving her head as she speaks in a thoroughly unsettling way. It's when the five turns into the 20. You know how it went in Valois. She glances at Lady. You definitely know how it went in Valois.
Tell me, what is your name?
She leans back out from Yume's face. Yume, you do notice when she'd leaned into your face, the smell of blood was very strong. And
Ugh.
that's not her having blood breath. It was just a scent around her.
Ew.
Ugh.
For anyone who doesn't know, blood smells a lot like iron.
Smells like pennies.
Yep.
Smells like pennies.
Pennies. You may call me Captain Ulrika von Ungensternberg.
I'm not gonna fucking remember any of that, Gunter.
That is a
That
very
was
long name.
Nope.
I just make people call me lady. I will call you captain if that is quite alright with you.
Oh, you can do that. I much prefer
just
it to Sophia
Also-
Maria
Gonna
Ulrika von
call her
Friedricha
asshole.
von Ungensternberg.
Hey,
But
Gunter.
anyway, yeah.
Gunter, you said she was a captain, but you called her a lieutenant a couple of minutes ago.
Who said I was talking about her?
Oh shit. Oh no, not again. Okay, keep going. I wanted to ask like a question. I was like, hey, listen. Who?
Uh,
I have a quick question.
I have an answer.
Is Hockey with Ray, or is he like outside in the carriage?
Unless you specifically took him in with you, I'm assuming you left him in the carriage.
Okay, I'm gonna say I took him with us because Ray's gonna have him on his arm and just look at him and gently stroke like his breast feathers and say, "I'm just gonna call her asshole."
I like that Ray is that guy in a bar.
The now named Ulrika
R- Ray is
glances at Ray for a
Ray is
second.
so southern, he does not care.
Glances at Ray in a second, and then she thinks about appraising him, but then remembers that there is far more tempting meat right in front of her. You, uh, hmm. You asked the other lieutenant to talk to my pretty lieutenant. And at that, the white-haired woman walks back in. Lady Olwen informs me that you, milady, don't want the little peasant man killed. By what authority on this God's graced earth do you make that request with?
We have authority, but we don't have authority here.
Did you say that in game?
No, I'm just like mumbling that to myself. Gerard hasn't said. Let me just stress to you, Gerard's not saying fucking shit. There is
Yeah.
sweat dribbling down from his little fancy boy collar. Like he's having a bad fucking time, and he would love to have just fucking left. Like
Yeah.
I get it. Like he's not interested in any sort of heroism. He is interested in keeping the group together. He feels bad about the shit going on here, but he'd rather feel bad and be alive than die a fucking martyr. And he wishes he could leave, but he can't.
Um, von Ungern-Sternberg,
I
Okay,
have another
I am so sorry
question.
about that. Um,
you're all good.
go ask your question,
The
Ray.
Yeah,
what?
is Ray the tallest one still, or
Uh,
is he like shorter than anybody?
you are solely, well, Olwen does come up to your height, obviously.
You
The
made her
blue-haired man
big?
does as well.
You made
Yeah.
my bitch big? You
Yeah.
made her big without telling me?
Yeah, it's a
Her being
surprise.
her being small is a charm point. But that's
But
okay.
she
It's still
can crush your
sexy.
head between her thighs this way.
She
Anyway,
could already do that.
this way she can do it while standing up.
Okay, there we go.
Anyway,
Okay, give me an actual excuse, motherfucker.
so Ulrika is has asked you by what authority she thinks she can have a peasant not be killed. Um, she's asking a rhetorical question, obviously. She doesn't want you to answer.
When
She does
last
start.
I looked, Too bad Yume is gonna answer anyway.
Hold on. Hard cutscene.
Oh man.
She starts to lean back in, baring her fangs this time. She's about to speak when Olwen puts a hand on her shoulder quite firmly. Captain, the timetable. In that moment, you see a flash of several things pass through the captain's eyes, not least of which is the desire to murder. But it is only for a moment. And as if a switch is flipped, she leans away, smiles sweet as honey. As always, you are right, Ephistria. Leave the peasant, he's not worth our time. We must meet with the colonel. She gives a little wave where she wiggles her fingers at you. Toodles.
Oh no,
And
she's gonna be
saunters out of the
recurring.
bar.
I'm
Uh,
scared of her.
the rest of the hussars follow her out. Olwen waits for a moment and looks back at you. A word of advice. You may be brave, but don't be stupid. And follows her captain out the door. You hear them mount their horses and gallop off. Before you can do anything, the peasant stumbles in. You can see where he had been held by the neck from the bruising. Someone had been lifting him up off the ground single handedly. And gasps, asking for water, stumbles into a seat. Um, no one says anything to you.
Yeah, Yume just kind of falls to her knees at that point.
Uh, it actually looks like the rest of the bar is trying to avoid you.
Gerard kind of clears his throat and mumbles. He's like, "If you finished your meal, I think we should leave too."
Yume
Would you all
nods.
like to depart?
I would. My vote is to getting the fuck out of here because these people aren't gonna. We, despite the fact that we are trying to quote save someone here, which we were, these people now see us as more trouble than we're worth, and we should leave.
Yeah, here's the thing, Lady is also on team just leave and then figure everything out later. Um, because she's kind of like that, to be
We also have
honest.
somewhere to be. Actually, this isn't our
Yeah,
stopping point. This was a very unpleasant pit stop.
incredibly
Very
unpleasant.
unpleasant
Yeah,
pit stop.
very. Sorry about that, guys.
And with that, that's a session.
Gunter, not to call you out, but like I should have known that you were going to introduce a steppy woman. But like I
No,
thought you
wait,
would
call him out,
stop at
call him
like
out.
I thought you would stop at like two. Sorry, one. You did two steppy women. One of them was mine. I'm happy to see
Mhm.
her. The other one is a uh a genre of scary that I have said it 5 times. I dearly wish I was playing a hornier character.
Uh,
Not to be a
that's
whore, but
that's a choice to want to fuck this particular person, but all right.
no, here's the thing, Gunter. Sometimes being horny isn't just you want to fuck someone. Sometimes being horny is a skill.
Being horny is a skill. God damn.
Being horny is a skill, okay? And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it causes your friends to get in a horrible situation, but sometimes it works out. Gerard is not horny. He's
All
just very
right.
nervous.
For all of our players, I am going to be giving you the theme for the blonde person that you just met.
Oh, good.
I advise watching it with the subtitles as well.
I would love to do that
Oh.
eventually.
You don't have to watch it right now, but yeah, that will probably tell you a bit about the sort of person you've met. And spoiler alert, we'll meet again.
Of course we will. You spent
we
time on
figured.
her.
Don't worry, we figured.
Yeah, that is your first session and the second arc, Nordland. Aren't you so excited, guys?
Oh my god. That was very nerve-wracking.
I love a nerve-wracking interaction.
That I wasn't sure what was going to happen there when I just made that split-second decision to chase after them. I feel like you were expecting me to do that.
Oh, I absolutely was.
I can see just like from the DM plan that because we didn't willingly interact with them, he was doing the hard cutscene. We have to interact with them. That means those characters were important and we needed to pay attention to them. Very
Yeah.
smooth move. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
I knew that. I just wasn't.
Yep, this
Yume's
cutscene.
not the kind of person who's gonna purposefully attract attention to herself unless she absolutely has to. And you did. You pulled her out of the woodwork. Congrats.
She has a moral compass. I'm glad for that. Someone has to.
I crafted this scene
Too.
knowing this would happen.
Yeah, I was about to
Did
say
you
this
know?
was very intentional.
Now, question though, did you know it would be Yume?
Of
Yes.
course we knew it would be Yume. No one else in this group is gonna fucking do anything. Maybe like
Yume
Ray, maybe
Lady might.
Giuseppe. Lady might.
telling Yume to
I
not
want
stand
more
up for someone
information.
being bullied is like telling her not to breathe.
Yeah, I was about to say she
This
does
is
it chronically. It's a good trait.
this is true.
Playing Gerard is consistently hard because I am naturally inclined to playing rowdy, fucking psychopath characters. So the fact that I have to play someone whose main goal is to just get out of there alive constantly and he cares too much is hard. It's fun, but it's hard. I did this on purpose.
Uh, but yeah,
Oh, are we
as
offline?
no, not yet.
No.
Oh, I mean, I'm not
So
talking like we are, but
This
so
is
I believe
post-production
our
discussion.
oh, post-production discussion. Oh, goody.
post-production discussion. I believe our next session should be on the 27th, if that works
Uh,
for everyone.
yes, that is correct. That is the week I start back school. Yay!
Hey.
Woohoo! Back to school session.
Yeah,
Um,
it is only one class, and it's a 6,000 level class, so I don't expect it to be like spring semester was.
yeah.
That was fucking miserable.
This is the last class you have to take before you graduate, right?
Nope. I have to take capstone and spring, and then I'll be graduated.
Ah, you're almost there. You're
Yeah.
almost there, sir. I'm so proud of
Oh,
you.
thank
Um,
you.
everybody be proud of Gunter.
Always and forever.
He's doing so good.
Gunter.
Thank you.
And thank you guys so much for joining us. One other thing to note, you might have noticed throughout the stream that we had a little bar at the top of the screen, with a little countdown on it, counting up to 25. That is how many followers we want to have before we do a Jackbox Games stream. As in a massive group of us, even those who often join us for our Final Fantasy Fridays and Genshin streams, are gonna get online and we're all gonna play some Jackbox games for hours and hours until we just fall down exhausted, right, guys?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
24-hour stream. Let's go.
I'm thinking about it. It's gonna be so much fun, but we have to reach that magic number 25 followers right here on our Twitch. We have 18 right now. We are so close. We're so close, guys. While you're hitting that follow button, Make sure you get all your friends to do the same. Talk us up on Twitter. Go on Twitter and give us a follow there. We always post when we're going to have a stream. And make
Do
sure
it,
you go
or
right
Ulrika will find you.
and then make sure you go to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. We post every video after every stream. We post every video we make on this channel to our YouTube and that just means you never have to miss a video, even if you have to miss a stream.
There you go. It's a perfect system.
Perfect
Um,
system.
is next week a Genshin or Final Fantasy stream?
Okay, so Final Fantasy is generally on Fridays. I'm so sorry that we didn't have one last night. We had some guests come in to town that it completely slipped my mind that we wouldn't be able to stream. But next Friday we should have another Final Fantasy Friday, and then Saturday, what day is that? The 20th at 3
Mm.
p.m. should be a Genshin stream. Katie can correct me if I am incorrect on that. But that is generally the schedule. Okay, Katie
Katie
says correct.
says correct.
Katie says correct. Thank you, tech crew. So that is the schedule. So we will see you guys. If you want to watch our Final Fantasy Fridays, make sure you're here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. For Genshin, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both right here on this channel. We look forward to seeing y'all there.
Doodles.
Make sure you hit that follow button.